Hey, it's great to see you guys. Hey. Wednesday night. Wednesday night. Yeah. Oh, man. I've been looking forward to this Wednesday night. Hey, I'm going to shout out to the folks that were over in the chat earlier. Kathy Gahan. Oh, good to see you, Kathy. Rebecca Felter. Great to see you. Eileen. Hi, sweetie. And hey, Aiden here. Great to see you. Great to see you. There's Tuna Emperor. Ha. The yeah, heck. It seemed like 7 o'clock tonight. Just didn't want to show up. I I've been a busy boy today, just grinding on this computer. All this next week, I got 6 videos going up this week again, like last week, one every day. Hey, Scott K, great to see ya. Hey, Ingalls family, hello. It was a really good week. It was a good week last week. Yeah, typical camp. Some odd things going on, but that's camp life, you know. You never know. You just never know what's going to happen out of camp. Mictivus. Hello. I am very well. At least I feel well right now. Yeah. Hey, Chowser. Turtle. Yeah. Them big old snapping turtles. Yeah. Those two, I just had to stop and film. Yeah. Hey, Joe W. Awesome. It's great to see you. Great. Them big old snapping turtles, man. Those two I filmed, but I bet you I've seen 30 or 40 of them this year. that one stretch in there and out at my one campground, them damn snappers are all over the place. I had to chase her out of the road at Beaver Lake Campground. She dug a hole right smack in the middle of the campground road and backed in that hole. She was going to start laying her eggs. I went over there and I chased her out of there, and she went down the road a little ways, and then off there's some gravel that was overspread off the road, and she went and she dug in there and laid her eggs. But she was going to lay them right smack in the middle of that road. I thought, yeah, none of them are going to make it. Yeah, not with all the traffic coming in and out of that campground. Hey, look, I got a buddy in the basement. I'm pulling him up right now. There he is. Man? Hey, it's great to see you. You survived Nashville.
Semi-survived. I'm still recovering.
Still recovering? Quite the trip, huh?
Oh, it was quite the trip. We had a phenomenal time in Virginia.
Yeah.
We stayed at a very historic home. If you happen to look it up, it's an Airbnb place. It's called the Fulkerson Hilton Home. It's in the hills of Hilton, Virginia, and the house itself was built a long time ago. And basically the entire inside of the place is all antiques. I was intimidated when we first got there about running into something and knocking something.
Right. Yeah, don't touch.
And they got stuff all over the place. And he does have stuff set up where it says, he's got little signs on it. Please do not touch. This is for display purposes only. So you're in a home like that. Well, I'm glad my one daughter and my granddaughter didn't stay with us, because that would have been catastrophe.
Oh, yeah, you would have been running guard constantly. Yeah.
I was worried about myself. Geez, Pete,
Yeah.
But a gorgeous place. I recommend it to anybody. And then we moved on from there to downtown Nashville. And that was, we enjoyed, it's one thing to talk to someone like you and I talk to each other all the time here. It's another thing when you get to meet someone, spend time with them, and actually talk,
Right.
Talk about nothing and just enjoy each other's company, or sit there and just chat away,
Yeah. a lot of the folks I've had out to the campground this year that are YouTubers, there were times where I told them, shut your cameras off, guys. Just shut them off. Let's just sit and BS. And that was the best part of it, man. We're just sitting around and really getting to know each other. And yeah. Hey there, Joe Invader Gamer. It's been a while. Good to see you.
So, of course, that's where I was last Wednesday when you were live.
Yeah, I forgot. I wasn't quite sure how long your trip was, and when you said that you were in Nashville, it's just like, yep, he's still out on the trip. He's on the road. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Heck. But our buddy Travis with Destination Great Lakes, he's a host too,
Yeah.
Yeah, that poor guy. His campground. He's got all the assholes in the world. Like, show up at his campground. He's got drunks, and he had some guy come in with a big diesel, heavy 3/4 ton, maybe a 1-ton truck, pulling a big boat with no exhaust. And at 8:00 at night. That poor guy. Hey, look at here. Oh my gosh. Hey, sweetie. Hey, I loved all 3 of your last songs, by the way. Loved them. Listened to them all 2-3 times already. Yep. Good job. Good job.
I'm glad.
Yeah, I don't get the pleasure of getting to watch anything or do anything on YouTube for a week, and then I get home and in between editing and trying to get my own videos up, I'm watching people's stuff, and I was listening to Samantha's last 3 posts, and I kept playing them over and stuff. Then I realized, oh shit, that video was done almost 45 minutes ago. I would have been farther ahead if I was paying attention, but yeah, you distracted me. So
yeah, Sty's the last one on the planet without a smartphone, so he can't watch YouTube and stuff during the week.
I don't have enough data. I don't have enough data on my phone. I can watch maybe 1 video, and I've been thinking about that. I think what I'll do is I'll watch whatever Samantha posts. That's the 1 video I can watch and use up all the data on my phone.
Sorry.
Oh, don't be sorry. That's worth the investment.
I feel bad for you.
What are you drinking there, Sam?
Raspberry Smirnoff.
I thought it was the champagne of beers for a second.
No.
Oh,
Kind of.
a raspberry Smirnoff on some of the days we've had the last
It's hot.
week. Yeah, even sitting in the shade with a stiff breeze, that Smirnoff would taste pretty good.
It's definitely refreshing. It's hot here today, so.
Hey, Riles D's, good to see you. Yeah, it's been real interesting for me the last week. I had one. What was that? Saturday night. I got a little advice for campers out there. Now, this is real important advice.
Imagine that. Sty with camping advice. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, I got a full campground, except for 1 campsite. Otherwise, every campsite's full. And I went up to this 1 campsite because a group of people from 2 other campsites were congregated at this 1 campsite, and they're sitting around the fire pit early. It's not dark yet. They got fire going, and they're chatting. And I was just doing my nightly rounds. I walk through my whole campground at night, and I'm walking by, and they yell, "Hey, Sty, come on over here, sit and BS with us for a while." I said, "Oh, okay." I walked out into the camp, grabbed a camp chair, sat down, and they said, "You know what? We love this place. The bathrooms are cleaner than our bathrooms at home. That Lawns are like carpets. You're taking such good care of the campground. And they said, and it's so peaceful here. We haven't encountered one jerk since we've been here. And before I could even say something, all of a sudden I hear, oh, harder. I'm not going to say what else she was saying. I've got this one campsite number 10, and it's remote. You got to walk into it about the length of a football field, but people don't realize where that campsite is. It's only about 250, 300 feet away from the main campground. It's just got a lot of trees between those two areas. So it seems very private out there. Well, this gal and her honey decided they weren't going to be very private, or they thought it was a lot more private than it actually was. We could hear the other end of the campground, campers laughing their asses off. We heard it all. And they went at it for about 15 minutes, man. And she was just screaming like a banshee. Oh, my God. And she's yelling, harder. And one of the guys at the campfire is looking at his wife like she's going to freak out any minute, And she says, from the sounds of things, he can't get it any harder than he's already got it. I said, I'm sorry, you guys. And they said, well, you're the campground host. You should walk down there and tell them to stop that. I said, you tried. No way. No, that's way above my pay grade. There is no way I'm walking into the middle of what we're hearing and saying, folks, you can't do that at the campground.
I'm still amazed at 15 minutes. Shit.
Yeah. Oh, we all were. And most of us were middle-aged or older. So we're all looking at each other like, who is this guy, man? She's out there with freaking Superman, for God's sakes. Yeah. Hey, Tim Kirk Whippers in the house. Good to see you.
I usually hear it harder, but I hear it about twice and then it's over. So,
yeah.
You should have put a pair of cut-off shorts on, braided your beard, and like a bow tie in your hair, and gone. We could just be like, "You guys need a hand in here."
Yeah.
And they would have bolted, or said, "Yeah, that's." You might not want to do it that way.
Well, see that would be the issue. That would be the issue. I don't want to walk into it and then say, "Oh, you're the host. You're supposed to make sure that we have a nice stay, right?" That we don't forget our vacation. Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't have forgot it, Sty.
Oh, I'm still not forgetting what I heard. That was enough.
Imagine you were part of it. Holy crap.
Yeah, walk up to them and ask them if they need someone to hold the camera. See, I did think of that, though. I should have walked in there with my Vixie 800 with the big dead cat on it, the microphone, and a GoPro on the brim of my hat, and the one that mounts on my chest. Have 3 cameras going, and walk in there carrying a couple of tripods, and go, don't mind me, folks. Don't mind me. I can get set up. You guys just keep going. I'm good. I can set up without. You guys don't have to stop. Just keep going. In fact, it's better if you keep going. Yeah, the footage would be so much better. Tune in for we're live. Walk in there with the camera.
Say hi to YouTube, guys.
Hey guys, we're live. Guess what's going on in camp tonight? And then turn the camera on. Say hi to the audience, would you? Let's see. What's the count? Oh, 4,536 people are watching. That's pretty good. Yeah.
I thought you were trying to put your tent stakes in the ground. You needed to hit the stake harder.
Yeah. And no, the word more and harder and faster was used.
It couldn't be confused with putting in tent stakes, huh?
None of it.
All right.
A lot of the comments individually may have been construed as setting up camp. But when you looked at the whole picture, when you heard all of it, it was like that no, camp has already been set up, you know.
Maybe they were just playing a porn, and you know, that's what was going on, and it wasn't actually them, but it was actually porn.
Well, okay. I want to know where they got enough power to put out that much volume, because it's 100 yards into that campsite down a trail. You can't get a vehicle anywhere near it. So they would have had to have packed in one heck of a sound system for it to carry out.
You should be able to tell the difference anyway.
Yeah, you could tell the difference between live and electronic. Yeah.
Is it live or is it Memorex? I think it's Memorex.
Well, you know, thank God that lake on the other end of the farthest away from their campsite, there's a half a dozen private homes. Otherwise, that whole lake is all Forest Service around it. So there's nobody on the end where their campsite was at. But what really got the whole campground laughing, she started hooting like an owl there for a while. I mean, she sounded like an owl with its tail feathers caught in a fan or something. And all of a sudden, our pair of loons start singing with her. So those two loons are out on the lake calling to her, and we were laughing. So, and I told them folks around the fire, I said, boy, they're going to be in for a surprise if them loons come into camp. They might be sending out a love song and don't even realize it, you know. Those are some big birds. Yeah.
So you said it was Big Bird and Grover and... No, never mind. Anyways.
That Snickers stuffed pickle there, middle music. No, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah, so that was kind of like the exciting thing that happened at camp. Otherwise,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty weird. You know,
it's only natural. You're in nature. It's natural. It's nature. Nature, natural. It all goes together.
Well, someone said, I wonder if he's doing her on the picnic table. I said, no, he's doing her right in the grass there. And he goes, well, how the hell would you know that? I said, listen, doesn't that sound like that sounds like peace on earth to me. Yeah, definitely he was getting some peace on earth. Yeah. Otherwise, my week was typical campground issues. Some ass. We got these signs. I don't even know what they call that shit. It's like fiberglass that they make the posts out of. They're flat, and these posts, they got this tab on the bottom. You pound them in the ground, and it almost takes a truck with a chain to yank the things out. I go down to my damn boat landing. That was yesterday morning. Just to check on things. I get down there, and we had this post that's a sign that says all motorized vehicles traffic ends here. And that sign is right to the walk-in entrance to a big picnic area I have at the boat landing. Some asshole pulled that sign out of the ground and threw it off the end of the fucking dock. Well, I'm looking all over for the sign. And the reason I ended up putting that sign in there in the first place was because people were driving their UTVs and ATVs up into the picnic ground. And they're not allowed in there. They tear the place all up. It's nice grass in there. You know, I keep it mowed. No, they're up there tearing it up. So the Forest Service, their policy is just because you say it, we can't we can go in and chase them out, but we can't give them a citation unless it's actually posted. So they told me, go to the shop, get a sign, and put it in out there. You catch somebody out there, get their tags, we'll send them a citation, or we'll show up and cite them right on the spot. So I did. I put the sign in. Asshole pulled the sign out, threw it in the lake. You know, I'll tell you what, the ATVers, it's not all of them, but they've got they're more than their fair share of a-holes, I tell you. I mean, these guys think they own every square inch of public land. They're driving where they ain't supposed to all the frickin' time, and they know it. They know they are. That's what bothers me is, what, I didn't see the sign. What do you mean? The sign's 28 inches by 28 inches. And it's at eye level if you're on an ATV. And you had to drive within 4 feet of that sign. How could you not see that? If you're that frickin' blind, you don't belong on a motorized vehicle. But anyway, so I walk out on the end of the dock, all pissed off, light myself a smoke, and I'm looking at the lake, because that's a good spot to see just how clear the water is, how far down you can see, because you can see some of the rocks down 8-10 feet. It's that clear. I look and I go, there's my fucking sign. It's on the bottom of the goddamn lake. So I wade out there, fucking water over my belt, and I'm looking down at that sign. Okay, now wait a minute. That water is at my navel, right? Well, that's more than 50% of me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how am I supposed to reach that sign?
Your head's getting wet.
Yeah. So I had to go kaplunk, come out with that sign soaking frickin' wet.
Could you imagine this guy soaking wet, the beard and his outfit and everything else?
Oh, I look pretty
like
good.
A drowned rat.
I just shake, and the beard comes right out. In fact, that lake water, it really makes my beard puff out.
Does it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that sucker was really puffed out just because I was pissed off. I'm standing on the tailgate of that truck with a big sledgehammer, pounding that frickin' sign into the ground, and I'm soaking wet. And here comes 4 UTVs come pulling in. One of the guys gets out of his UTV and he walks up, and the whole tailgate's soaking wet. I'm still dripping. That water's still running off me. I'm pounding it, motherfucker. I get just cussing like that. And he goes, it looks like you're working awful hard there. And I looked at him. I said, you don't want to get any closer unless you want to be 6 inches shorter. I hit you on top of the head with this fucking hammer driving that UTV up to me right now. Yeah. And he goes, what happened? And I told him, I said, one of your fellow ATV or UTVers out there didn't like the fact that I stop them now from going into my picnic ground, and tore my sign out, threw it out in the fucking lake. And I had to actually go out there and go under the frickin' water to get that goddamn sign. And he goes, it's too bad you couldn't find the guy that did it. He says, and brought him with you out there. And he says, you could have just grabbed him and dipped him down there and tell him come back with the sign when I lift you up. I said, no, I kind of like you, even though you got a UTV. I kind of like you. He crawled up on the back of that truck and he finished pounding that sign in for me. Drove it in an extra 1.5 feet. Nice. And he was a pretty hefty guy, and he's trying to yank that sign out of the ground. He goes, oh no, he says a chain and my UTV, that might get it out of the ground. He says that sucker's in there. I said, good. I said, next I'm gonna run a chain across this damn thing, and I'm gonna camouflage it. Hey, Peppers in Kentucky, living. Good to see ya.
Yeah, you still don't know your Sty and not Stu. What's wrong with you, Jeremy?
Yeah.
That's another
Yeah.
guy I got. That's another guy I got to meet. Jeremy.
Oh,
He showed up on the last night. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep. We got a couple of pictures of us on rooftop of nudies. So,
Hey, Chase, you little monster. Chase.
oh, he's not a little monster. Look at him. Look at Mama. Look at him.
Yeah.
He called me a monster, Mama.
Yeah, if we go way back and look when she first got him, he's not so little anymore. He's not that little puppy. Look at him. Yeah, he is.
He's still small. He's just
Yeah.
Was it Chihuahua?
He's not the baby Chihuahua no more.
No. He hugs. The dog's funny.
Yeah, autocorrect. Yeah.
What's up, running water? Boy.
I had him up here earlier, but he's driving around in Timbuktu and he's got thunderstorms all around him. He's cutting in and out. And I told him, yeah.
We had a thunderstorm about 2 hours out of when we got to Virginia, where on the expressway we had to go down to 33 miles per hour.
Oh, yeah.
It was bad. My wife's like, I want to pull over. It's like, don't pull over. Pay attention to the lights in front of you because he's right behind the semi. And I said, just keep moving. So the worst thing you can do is pull over or stop when shit like this is going, because someone else isn't going to. They're going to keep going, and it's going to be too late, and they're going to hydroplane right into it. So just keep going. So
yeah, you're more apt to get smacked in the rear end by stopping than you are by keeping moving. That's
And you had people pulled out underneath bridges and whatnot, and people getting off of other stuff. So. Yeah, it was crazy. It lasted for about a good half an hour. It's funny because it was right after I gave up driving. I drove 90% of the way or 80% of the way, and I started. How you start feeling tired.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I've got another driver here. I got another driver here. Why suffer through this for the next 2 hours? Of course, when you always get in the passenger seat, suddenly you're not nodding off. But
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's when I let her take over, and it was probably half an hour or so when her taking over. That poor, and I'm glad I wasn't driving, but she hated driving in that, and I can't blame her. It wasn't good. So,
hey Bob, hey Gil Skills is in the house. Good to see you,
Bob.
What about Bob?
Bob? What's up, Bob?
Yeah.
King Bluto, thank you, sir.
King Bluto, that is awesome of you. Thank you.
Did you get the memo that King Bluto is Chrysler Imperial H?
Yes, I've known that for ever since he changed it. I figured it out. In fact, see, the thing is I can see all the comments during the week of my posted videos and people comment on them. I can read every one of those comments. But like I said, I ain't got no damn data, so I try responding. That requires me to actually go into YouTube to respond. So I tried that a couple of times. No, not on my old phone. But I read all the comments, and I saw when he changed his name, and I put 2 and 2 together, and I thought, I got just enough data. I went into my account. And I pulled up my monetization, looked at my members, and there it was. There he was in there. And I go, Bluto showed up and Imperial drove off. Yeah. So it was pretty easy to figure it out.
Well, I don't know. You've been away, so
in softball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they called him Bluto or Brutus. Like one of the, both of them were his nicknames. He'd get up to bat. They're like, "Come on, Bluto."
These are the characters. I got Rabbit, Mary, and Callie.
Anybody remember the frog from Popeye? Bluto did it. Bluto did it.
Yeah.
Bluto did it. You had Bluto, and then you had Brutus on Popeye.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When they switched over, it was a Bluto or it was Brutus.
Weren't they?
Yeah.
Weren't they supposed to be like brothers or some shit?
Cousins or brothers or
Yeah.
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 Brokeback Mountain buddies. I don't know.
Some type of related.
The yeah. And what the fuck was Jeep?
Jeep.
What was
Jeep? Jeep wasn't Jeep. What was Jeep?
What was Jeep? There's never been a good answer to what was Jeep. There's all kinds of different opinions, and the when I was a little kid. See now, you guys, when I was just a little kid, before you were even thought of, I watched all the Popeye cartoons. I even got in trouble because I got into some of my uncle's World War II Popeye cartoon books. They're just little pamphlet-sized jobs with about 20 pages. The Jeep. But those little cartoon books from World War II, they were sending over to the GIs. They were pornographic Popeye cartoons. Pornographic comic books.
Yeah.
And
Eugene the Jeep.
Eugene the Jeep.
Mysterious animal with magical or supernatural abilities.
But it never says what it is.
The but when I was a kid, the first time I seen the goons on Popeye, big nose goons, man, I had nightmares about them sons of bitches. I did out of anything in those days. Those goons freaked me out, man. Yeah. I dreamt one time that my whole family were goons. I was normal, but my whole family were goons.
I want the ability to click on your chat. Sty is from the Lil Abner era.
Oh yeah. Shut up, running water. Ass with a double A. Yeah.
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 Apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
And just take a look at that running water. I'll tell you what. Apples do rot on the tree. Yeah. They don't have to fall from the tree to go bad. They go bad right on the tree. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, boy, talking about Popeye and that, I miss the days, man. When I was in my 20s, I had a small farm, plus we had a tree service going, and I worked full time with the tree service, plus I tried to farm. But on Saturdays, I did nothing, man, except get my ass to town. There was this little diner, and they had this big, long table that held about, I think it had 12 chairs around it. And that was just for us locals, us local regulars. Saturday morning, man, you come piling in there, and you had to be there at about 8 o'clock. You wanted to get there about 7:45, get a good seat, so you could see the television up above the counter. And we watched cartoons until 10. You know, all the good stuff, all the good Warner Brothers stuff,
Sure.
You know, Roadrunner and all that good stuff, you know. And it was all adult men. We sat there. They made the biggest cinnamon rolls at that place you ever frickin' saw, man. They weighed about a pound a piece, and they're just smothered with frosting, and they give you nice pure butter. And oh God, and sit there with hot coffee and watch cartoons. People would come in there with their kids, and those kids would start talking, yakking. You know how kids are. There was always some old guy at that table. Shut your damn kids up. We're trying to watch something important here. Don't come in here with your kids while we're watching cartoons.
Right?
Hey, Saucy Shane, it's great to see you. It's awesome. Me, Dibbo, great to see you. I've got a little survival multi-tool that me Dibble sent me a long time ago. The that I'm going to be doing a review on. I'll be doing that probably when it quits raining. I'll do a review. I'm going to do. I've got 3 things I got to do reviews on, and that's one of them. And then I've got a shovel and a axe that I got to do reviews on that Running Water gave me to do reviews. So, and then I got another hatchet folding saw that I got from the youngest boy to do a review. I got all kinds of reviews coming, guys.
Do you know who's a cool person to meet in person? Saucy Shane.
I bet.
Yeah,
I bet.
Shane,
I've always.
Shane and his wife Tara were
I spell Octoling.
very, very cool people to meet. Very cool people to hang out with. It was awesome. We had a great time.
I bet you. You know, and that it's like you're saying. You know, there is a big difference when you get to meet some of those folks in person. The having Nicholas out, you know, Nick Green.
Mm-hmm.
Hanging out, actually getting to hang out with Nick for 3 days, go and do things together. And yeah, we did some video stuff, but I'll tell you what, there was a lot of hours in a day. The little bit of video stuff we did of waterfall hikes and stuff like that, that was nothing compared to the amount of time we actually got to spend together and talk and really get to know each other. And the
it was more time with Nick.
Yeah, and then I felt so bad he got home.
Well, it's nice to be able to sit down, relax.
You don't think you did?
Huh?
Me Dibble? You don't think you did? I was sure that was you that sent that.
Yeah.
I'll look back. I got it.
As a matter of fact, I'm trying to get my tolerance up. This I got from Shane. This has got to be one of the hottest. Not the hottest. The hottest stuff I've ever had is still Death Shots.
Oh, huh.
This is his blueberry. His blueberry tincture.
Uh-huh.
Shane.
That's the tink that he was making, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carolina Reaper, scorpion peppers. That's about how much we did that day, isn't it, Shane? About that much? Whew. Hope I got enough on my stomach.
You're goofy, man. Well, you always have been. That's it. Gil, if I tell you what, if I ever landed on a pot of cash and had the cash to play with, man, I'd just get me an RV and I'd take off. I'd just drive anywhere where my YouTube friends are and see them. I just head out and see everybody. You're crazy drinking that stuff.
Yeah, me and Shane did that much just before we took a picture outside of the Tailgate Brewery by his house. And the both of us had our mouths watering, our eyes were running. Luckily, the pictures were all from far away, so you could get the sign in. But even right now, my mouth is watering like tenfold. Ooh. Oh, ooh.
Wow.
Ooh.
Well, I went down that trail and I ain't hiking that one again anymore. I ain't doing that hot shit no more.
Neither is Jimmy from Ojazon's World. He's like, he gave all the stuff he had left to Saucy Shane.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he gave me 2 bottles of his tincture.
Uh-huh.
Now, his has got ghost pepper in it. I actually took and drank that much of his.
Oh, wow.
And that's probably a couple droppers full. And, oh, yeah. So I got plenty to kill me here over the summer.
There you go. Now you're going to have to think about what all you're going to do this winter. Because I'll be home and I'm going to be on here all the time. And if I ain't streaming, you better be. I want to see you doing some crazy shit again, you know.
Well, I'm waiting for my peppers to ripen out there. I got ripe purple jalapenos But that's the only thing I had. I mean, those aren't even hot. That's the only thing I got ripe out there right now. I got Primatalis, which are hotter than Carolina Reapers out there right now. But they're green as hell. My Carolina Reaper plants only have a few flowers on them and no buds yet. So
Yeah, me, Dibble. I thought it was you. If it wasn't you, that's sorry, hey, but I'll figure out who it was. Yeah, put a drop of it in a pickle. Yeah, I don't know metal music. He's just into pickles lately.
Reminds me of that Kiss song. Oh no, tears are falling. Ooh.
Hey, JV Outdoors and Section 8 Outdoors stopped in my camp to visit Nick and me, and JV brought both me and Nick a bunch of neat gifts. He brought me some fishing lures and a new hat, but he brought Nick all kinds of fishing stuff. Plus, Nick had won an awesome fishing rod and reel from JV's channel. Well, JV used to always have this yodeling pickle that he'd play on his videos, and he brought Nick his own yodeling pickle. I told Nick off camera, I don't want to know what you're going to be doing with that pickle.
The yodeling pickle.
Yeah.
Harder. Oh, anyways.
I think you think I'm ignoring you, Cheesehead? God,
good.
Dang it. That means he's still got a couple brain cells, that guy. No, the only thing I was complaining about, Cheesehead, was that guy pulling my sign out and throwing it in the damn lake. Otherwise, I wasn't complaining about nothing else. It's in fact my supervisor with the Forest Service there, when I told him I'll be back next year, I'll do it again. He's thrilled, man. He is just thrilled. He said, yeah, you're getting nothing but compliments from all of our campers. So he said, we are so glad. And his employees, the guys on the payroll, they've got duties they have to do at each and every campground. Well, they go to my campgrounds and they find out their duties are already done. I'm doing it all, and all they have to do is drive through and look at the reservations and check them off on their board saying, yep, he's got them all up and his campers are here. And if their campers aren't there, he's got it turned to open. Anybody can use the site. And they're trying to find something I didn't do. And the one gal, her name's Katie, and she's awesome. She's probably the hardest worker out of the bunch of them. I caught her up at Beaver Lake Campground, and I said, so you're just doing your daily drive-through, huh? She said, yeah. She said, I checked the bathrooms. I go, oh, you did you? And she goes, oh, Bill dropped completely off. He's not in the basement either.
Uh-oh.
But she said that, she said the second bathroom, she said, I had to put toilet paper in it for you. And I said, why would you have to put toilet paper in there for me? I'm here. I would be putting toilet paper in there right now, today. And she goes, well, I wasn't sure if you were going to be here to do that or not. And I said, how much did you put in there? She said, 1 roll. I go, oh, for Christ's sake, that bathroom holds 8 rolls. And it was down 1. She goes, yeah. I checked that bathroom. She replaced, there was over half a roll. She took that off, put a fresh whole roll in its place, set the half roll on top of the rolls. So it didn't need to be changed out. She was just looking for something she could do. everybody, all of them keep telling my supervisor, you need to tell him to quit doing everything because we got nothing to do at his campgrounds. One of the guys, we got this big, awesome Toro zero-turn mower. That's what a beast. I want that mower for my campground. But the paid guys get to haul that mower around. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
What's up, Eway?
And that guy drove around all day looking for something to mow. And he started out at my campgrounds, and I flagged him down. And I said, "Get the hell out of here with that thing. You don't mow my campgrounds. I do." I said, and they're all perfect, just the way they are. Don't you dare take that Toro to any of my grass. And he goes, "Well, where can I mow?" I said, "Go down to Day Lake. They got 50 campsites down there. He'd love to have you mow his campground. You stay the hell out of mine." Yeah. Hey, West Haven, always and forever. Good to see ya.
Hey, Elena.
Hope you're doing well there, Mike. It was nice last week, Phil, being that you were out on travel and weren't able to be up. Mike jumped up with me for the whole stream.
Well, that's not nice. That's just someone taking my place. It's not quite as good. So.
Oh. That came from him, Mike. That didn't come from me. That came from him, man. We had a good time. Come on now.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
Yeah. There you go, starting shit right away.
That's nice of you to say. So
oh, Mike, you're not doing that great, pal. You don't have to do. Oh my Lord, man. Oh man, that is so cool. That is so awesome, man. Hey. Wait till you see towards the end of next. Well, it'll be Sunday and Monday's videos that get posted on my channel. I got home last Thursday after doing my stream Wednesday night. Take off early Thursday morning. I get home, get to the campground, and I realize, oh shit, I had bought 2 of these big buckets of this awesome chicken, cashew, cranberry salad for sandwiches. Oh, it's the frickin' die for, man. And I bought 2 containers, £1.25 pounds each container. I was eating them chicken sandwiches for 3 days. I started to cluck on the 4th day. But I get there and I go, oh shit, I got no ice. So I had to run down to Clam Lake to get a block ice. I get down there. I get to the intersection where the gas station is just across the highway, and I look, and right there, there's a boat. There's a 14-foot aluminum fishing boat with a little electric trolling motor on it, and a sign says $75. I was embarrassed. I drove off the fucking road. I mean, not just off onto the shoulder. I drove off the shoulder. I was halfway down in the damn ditch looking at that $75. Are you fucking kidding me? I turned my truck around, drove up there, and I walked. This guy's got a big mechanic shop there. Walked in the shop looking for whoever's boat it is. And this guy comes out of his office and he goes, I saw you stop down there by the boat. You interested in the boat? And I go, yeah, I got a couple questions. He says, I only got one question. If I let you have it for $50, would you take it? And I go, yeah, okay, sure, yeah. So I got myself a 14-foot aluminum boat with a trolling motor. No trailer. I'm looking for a trailer.
Okay.
But I got it for $50. He says it leaks. He says it leaks like a sieve. He says, I'm sure you can fix it, patch it up. I said, yeah, me too. I looked at it. I said, no, I can see what's going on. What's wrong with it? And I reached in my pocket, pulled out my cash. I had $54 in my pocket. I said, oh, just squeezed in. I wouldn't have been able to buy it from you for $75, but because I wasn't going to go to the ATM and come back. Well, he says, well, you're the proud owner of your boat now. And I go, hey, could you give me a hand? And, I parked right by it there in your yard. Give me a hand lifting it up into the back of my truck. And he goes, not for $50 fucking. I go, you gotta be kidding. He says, you pay me the $75, I'll load it. You won't have to touch it. He said, but for $50, that's a one-man deal. And he turned around and went to start working on this truck he had up on the hoist. It was like conversation's over, bud. Go load your boat. Well, that damn boat's 125 pounds. So it's a little cumbersome trying to get that boat up in the back of that truck. And I got it up there. And the only problem was it's 14 feet long with my tailgate down from the front of the box of my truck to the tailgate, end of the tailgate, 7 feet. So I had 7 feet of boat hanging out the ass end of my truck. And I found a couple of ratchet straps, old crappy ones, and a shitload of bungee straps. And I had that thing all rigged up on there. And off I went with that big old aluminum boat sticking out of the back of my truck. And I got it out to camp, and one of the Forest Service employees stopped by, and I got to be pretty good friends with the guy, and he's a hell of a mechanic. And he sees the boat, and he goes, God, you got yourself a boat. I said, yeah. He goes, is that the one that was down by the store? I said, yeah. And he let me have it for $50. He goes, oh, you got an outboard for it? I said, no. I'm going to have to shop around. I said, I don't know if I want to spend the money on it right now or not. I'll see. And he goes, oh, and I said, if you know of anybody that's got one for sale really cheap, let me know. And he goes, well, don't worry about it. You'll have an outboard this summer. I said, yeah, I'll shop around. I'm sure I'll find one. And he goes, no, you'll have one. I'll drop it off tomorrow. He says, I got a 10-horse Evinrude. He says, it's an antique, but he said, runs good. He said, never use it. He says, fired it up this spring. Runs good. He says, I got a full tank, fresh tank of gas. I'll drop it off for you in the morning. So he brought me an outboard for it. And so I did a video about getting the boat, and I did a video the first time I took it out. Motor gave me a bunch of shit when I first got out there, but tweaking it. What happened was the motor had fallen out of the back of a pickup truck, and it broke a couple of things. Like it broke the choke handle off. So I got to use a screw or needle nose pliers to grab the choke to use the choke. Okay. And the shift handle broke off. So you can just barely get a hold of that shift, what's left of it, that shift handle, to put it in gear. So I got a stick of pliers in there to use the shifter on it. Otherwise, it runs out really good. It had some fuel issues. In the video, I say, well, that motor was built in 1967. So it's 54 years old. I said, well, that motor's 54 years old. That's probably why it ran kind of rough. And I'm 64, and I don't run that fucking good either, Yeah, so I got to give that motor a little credit that it can run at all, But now it's running good. It's running good. Cheesehead says, I'm coming fishing. Yeah. Hey, I'll have you bailing. Put your fat ass in my boat. It's going to sink. You're going to have to bail. It still leaks a little bit. I sealed up the bow. There was some damage in the bow. I fixed that, sealed that up. Just a tiny leak up in the bow. Nothing much. Just enough to get the bow a little wet on the inside of the boat. Not that you could bail it out or anything. Not that much water. But back at the stern, it leaks pretty good. Leaks in about a gallon,
a minute,
between a half a gallon and a gallon of water every hour or so. So 2 scoops of my scoop and it's gone, so it's not a big deal. I'll seal it all up this fall when I pull it out of the water for the season. I'll finish sealing it all up. But Yeah, it's pretty good. I could bring a can of that spray seal you see on TV.
Yep.
That's what I use, buddy.
There you go. There you
I
go.
use 2 cans of that, plus I used the putty. I used the putty first and let that cure for 24 hours. Then I sprayed the whole thing and let that cure for 48 hours. And I just missed a couple of spots. That's why it's leaking. What I'm going to do is seal it now from the inside. Once I get it dried out, I'll seal it from the inside. And once it's sealed up good, I'm going to put a flat floor in the forward section of it, put a pedestal seat so I can fish. The what
Sam,
they come off as soon as I saw Sam. That yeah, I mean
Oh man.
yeah. I can tell Mike's feeling so much better.
Mhm.
Yep. He's back
Yeah.
to himself again.
He's back to himself.
Except he's not coming up on panel. I don't understand that. You know.
Hey! I'll tell you something about pants. Here, you'll get a kick out of this. You'll laugh at this shit. Okay, last week we had one day that it was in the upper 80s, and the humidity was so freaking high. It was so freaking hot. Well, I've got this 12-volt fan, oscillating fan in my trailer, and it works like $1,000,000. I could sit there in a pair of shorts in my trailer and edit videos and shit with that fan going. I stay nice and cool in there. I got all the windows open in the trailer. The air flows good. It's actually cooler in the trailer than it was outside, even sitting in the shade. So I'm sitting in the trailer, it's hotter than shit. And I'm thinking, well, this is about as hot as it's going to get up here, humid wise, and as uncomfortable as it'll get. And well, I didn't realize it's like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. I'm sitting there and I'm watching a movie. Yeah, I'm watching Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. So don't bother me, right? So I'm watching a movie. All of a sudden, boom, boom, boom on my trailer door. I jumped up. I come flying off that freaking trailer with my hiking stick. What in the fuck you pound on my door like that? And this guy goes, oh, I just wanted to mention to you, this guy over on the other loop over here still got his generator running. And I go, shit. Give me a minute. I got to put some shoes on. I'll go tell him to shut that son of a bitch off. And he goes, you might want to put some pants on too. I'm standing out there in my fucking underwear with my hiking stick, barefoot. I'll go tell that guy to shut his Jenny off. I could have gotten beat up that night. I'm glad the guy pointed out that I wasn't dressed for doing the job.
I'm sorry. Boxer briefs are practically shorts.
Yeah, practically. Yeah.
That's what I wear. Boxer briefs. I'll go around the outside of the house sometimes in the morning and take care of things, but if there's people out there or on the properties around me, I'll go put shorts on. But
yeah, I was surprised. I didn't really. I thought, I'll get comfortable in camp. By the time I'm halfway through the season, I'll get a routine going and I'll be comfortable. Oh, hell no. That actually feels like home down there now. And it's like when I come here, I'm camping for overnight, That I come here and it's like, where's this? Where's that? I don't know where's my shit? Down there, I know where everything is. I've got my routine. And, finally got all my electronics and everything figured out. Now, if I could get Starlink, them jerks,
them fuckers,
I'm gonna hate the fact that you watch. They'll get me that right at the end in September, right at the end of the season, and then they're gonna want me to pay their $100 a month for the next 7 months before I come back to camp.
But then you can get rid of what you got at the apartment, though, right?
No,
No.
because I can't use the Starlink here at the apartment. I got nowhere to set the dish up.
Well, crawl up on the fucking roof of your apartment.
You should see the roof of this fucking apartment. All the dishes and antennas and shit that are already up there.
That's only one more.
That they would never allow it. They'd never allow it.
You said all the dishes and stuff they already got up there. Why would they not allow one more?
They're all theirs. They're not. Yeah, they're not any of the tenants. They ain't gonna allow it. Now, if my apartment was on the other side of the building, I'd just set the son of a bitch up in the window.
Right.
You know, they get a little pissed all winter with me having the window open with a dish sticking out of it. But Alaskan swamp butt. Mike, you're terrible.
Are you sitting in a vinyl seat, Sam?
No, I said. Subtle Music said it was a good thing I wasn't sitting in a vinyl seat. And I said no one likes swamp butt, and that's why Mike said that. Yeah.
Yeah, Alaskan swamp butt. There's
And I got one of these cooling things that for my seat down here in the basement. I can tell you don't work.
Cooling thing.
Yeah.
What the hell? What the hell? You throw that in the fridge or something?
No, you don't throw it in the fridge, but it's it's supposed to help. So you're not, ass on, the leather chairs and everything else. Yeah. It works for shit. So
there you go. And that's it. Is if they tell you it's going to work, you buy it.
Right. I bought two.
Oh, yeah, I
bought one from down here, and I bought one to replace the one I had at work, because the one I had at work, I've had now probably for 6 or 7 years. And the first time I sat on one at work was actually a girl that I worked with that worked there, and she was away from her desk. And I sat down at her desk for a minute to wait for her. I was like, "Ooh, this feels good. This is cool." So I asked her, and she showed me a link, and I bought one for my desk. Of course, I can't find that link anymore. So I thought, well, this says it's cooling and, all this other good shit. And bullshit. I mean, it'd be great. It would be a great hemorrhoid pad, Mike, but,
You got to have them, right?
Yeah, I don't have no hemorrhoids. I don't have any of those problems.
Mike, when he wants to be, can be a two-legged hemorrhoid, yeah.
I do have a swamp nuts, but other than that,
Hey, I'll tell you what, when I was driving truck over the road, I drove a couple of trucks when I first started that didn't have air conditioning. And it was an old guy that told me, he says, "Hey, man," because I kept telling him these vinyl frickin' seats in these trucks, they're killing me, man. So frickin' hot. You're just sweaty. Your ass is sweating constantly. Sure. And you're out there pounding 500-600 miles a day easy. And it was nasty. And he said, "Well, you need a sheep's wool seat cover." I said, "Are you fucking crazy, man? I'm talking about the hot shit." And he goes, "No, I'm not kidding. You got to get actual sheep's wool." And he told me what truck stop to stop at. And at that time, I was able to buy one for like $29. I bet you that son of a bitch is $129 now for sure, or more. But I thought, he's nuts, but I'll try it and we'll see what it does. And if it's hot, fuck that shit. I'll save it for this winter,
Right.
I put it in my truck. Oh, I love that son of a bitch. Because what it did was, because it wicked any moisture away, and it kept fluffy, and there was airflow through it constantly. I never sweat in that seat after using that.
That's weird.
And in the winter, that damn thing was so nice and warm. I realized what it ends up doing is kind of matching your body temp, and but with the airflow through that sheep's wool, it kept you cool in the summer. It was pretty good.
Hmm.
Yeah, hey, Mike, I got your hemorrhoids, Sty. the the Herbie hemorrhoid. Watch it, cheesehead. The
Metal Music Maniac's trying hard to be, funny, but Harry.
Hey, don't discourage him. He
Don't
works.
discourage him.
He works hard. He works hard to try to be funny and
Harry the Herbie hemorrhoid. I don't know.
Oh, you don't want hairy hemorrhoids. That sounds bad. Yeah, that ain't right.
It's hard to shave hemorrhoids too, I would imagine.
Oh, Jesus!
You don't nick those.
Oh. Hey, I seen a guy. I was sitting at the hospital. I had cut my finger, and they had it all wrapped up, and I'm still bleeding down my arm and shit, waiting for my turn to get in and get stitched up.
Surprise!
And here comes this guy walking in, and he walks up to the counter, to the reception counter, and he said, "I need to see a doctor." And I thought, makes sense. You're in a fucking hospital emergency room. Why else are you here? You didn't come in here to say, "Oh yeah, can I order a Snickers Blizzard, please?" Yeah, you're here to see medical people, right? And that's when I realized, after looking at the back of them, I looked at that girl and I pointed at her. I said, "He needs to see a doctor real quick." From about his belt all the way down, his ass, the backs of his legs, his pants, all blood.
Ooh.
And she goes, "Well, and what would be the problem, sir?" She looked at me like, "Fuck you, you mind your own business." And I just like, okay, the guy's going to bleed out his ass right there. You look at him. And he goes, "I think I had a hemorrhoid rupture." And she goes, "Okay, well, you should be able to treat that at home." And he turns around and he goes, "I don't think so." So she could see behind him. She's supposed to keep her cool. She's just like, "Oh my God." And it's just, and she yells for an orderly to bring a wheelchair. He comes zipping up with the wheelchair, and he stops about 10 feet from that guy, and he's going, "I'll be right back." And he runs back, and he comes back with a bunch of jerry pads, and he's putting them in that wheelchair. I don't want him sitting his bloody butt in that wheelchair. Sure enough, that's what he had a hemorrhoid rupture. And he was just, it wasn't internal bleeding either. It was external. And so, he was all bloodied up. It was terrible looking. And when he came out, they gave him a pair of hospital pants to go home in after they took care of him. He come out and he's walking just funny, and I thought, yeah, no shit, I'd be walking funny too. Look at that crap, And he says to the gal she says, "Are you all taken care of?" And he goes, "Yeah, I think so." He says, "But I don't think I'm going to get used to having them big ass pads in the crack of my ass." He said. And I thought, oh my God, I could just picture the old style Kotex, a great big old pad, in the crack of his butt. Now he's going to go home, take that pad off. He'll lose a pint of blood. Oh. And for years I thought, I don't ever, I don't care what happens to me. That is one thing I don't want happening to me, man. I haven't got any video of Frank and Monk. The little buggers, they're sly. They come around when the camera's not handy all the time. You were saying? Well, you were. You were.
You broke my train of thought. I don't know. Oh,
broke your
I
train.
don't want. I'm glad I've never had hemorrhoids.
Oh, no kidding.
If I had hemorrhoids, I'd have to quit what I'm doing now. I mean, I've always told people, if you got any problems from here to your rear, don't be doing any of this stuff. I can't imagine with some of the problems I've had that haven't involved that when I've overdone it.
Right.
I can't imagine if I actually had a problem and then had that on top of it. Fuck that.
Oh, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing if you had.
No. No.
And that's the worst thing. My one sister, she was going to go into medicine, and then she changed her major, but I can remember her preaching to us about all these different conditions that people have and stuff, and her talking about hemorrhoids and saying all it is like a ruptured vein, and it's on the surface, and what happens is it'll get a lesion and it'll bleed like hell. Well, I don't want to hear that shit. And I can remember saying, I ain't listening. I got to leave the room, man. I can't listen to this shit. Somebody's got a vein sticking out of their butt. And she was one of those people. Well, it's just a fact of life. That's just the way it is,
It's not a fact of life. You can go through your entire life without a fucking hemorrhoid.
She's the one too. When I was 11 years old, she goes, check these pictures out. She pulls this big medical book out. And here's this guy that's got a penis that's about 3 feet long and it's about that big around. The next page is a guy walking down the damn street with his balls in a wheelbarrow. And what they are these weird anomalies that happen with people that have elephantitis. I go, does that thing work? That big Peter?
I could use a mild case, but I don't want a full-blown case.
Yeah. I don't want the elephant thing. I tell you what, that guy with that giant elephantitis, Peter. Yeah, he'd make an elephant.
He wouldn't do nothing with that.
He'd make an elephant's ass tight. Yeah, tight ass. Yeah.
The conversation is bad if Harry's asking us to change the topic. Metal music.
Let's change the topic. Now the male fish are turning
lazy
female now at some countries. My other dog been peeing all the way.
Well, see, lazy Nate's having some kind of issue.
He thinks he's lost it, leaving the trail home. Never done that before, and she's sad. Oh yeah, Kathy. Yeah, I feel for Kathy.
Yeah, she had to put her big dog down today.
Yeah, it's bad when you got to lose a fur baby. Yeah.
And then you got to be around the other fur baby that's looking for, that's the dog's son, I believe. And so of course it's looking around for the dog. It's always been around.
Right.
And, yeah, that's not easy.
Hey, Lazy Nate, it's great to see yeah, it's tough. I mean, that's something that is an issue in camp. That I like the fact my supervisor allows me to use my own discretion, but my gosh, people and their dogs, they come to a campground. Well, these campsites aren't any more than maybe 50 feet apart from each other. And these people won't tie up their dogs. They let them run. And then you hear them yelling at their dog to get back there, get back to the campsite, get back, get back, get back. And then you'll hear somebody yell, "Get your dog out of my campsite." And you go over there and you say, "Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa." It's not a campground rule. It's a federal regulation. If you're in a fee area, your dog has to be on a leash. And that, if it's a 20-foot long tie out, it qualifies as long as it keeps the dog within your campsite. And I've had people argue with, my dog's under control. Obviously not. It was over in their campsite, you know. Yeah, but it came back when I called it. I said it shouldn't have been there in the first place at all.
And nobody's dog bites until it bites the first time. He's never done that before.
Well, that's it. You hear that a lot. Oh, he's never done that before.
Yeah.
And I had dogs. I had a dog that bit a census worker once. She was a liberal snot. She got to our house. She come in and she's spouting a bunch of liberal crap at me. And the television was on. And Obama came up on the TV, on the news. Obama's up there saying something. And here comes both of our dogs come running through the house, and they run up to that TV and they start barking like hell. They always did that whenever Obama came on the screen. You know, they wouldn't bark at the TV for any other reason, but if Obama came on.
Were they black dogs?
One was.
Okay. Just wondering.
My dogs weren't prejudiced. They just didn't like certain politicians. And she goes, "Why are your dogs acting like that?" And I said, "They don't like Obama any more than I do." And she started preaching at me about how good Obama was. And I said, "That's not your job. You're here to do the census, period. Nothing else." And she goes, well, here comes my little, he was a miniature pincher, you know. He comes walking up by her. He's just walking past. He's not coming to see her or nothing. And she reached down for him. I said, "I wouldn't pet him." And he spun around, bit her in the hand. And she goes, "I'm going to sue you for this." I said, "You just try." I said, "You try." And I said, "I'll sick the other one on you." She took a look at that other dog, and he was a big black lab, big fat he was 2 times overweight. And I said, "Yeah, you try and I'll sick him on you." I said, "That dog bit you because he don't like you any more than he likes Obama." Well, she got all pissed and took her censor shit, headed out the door, and they sent a new censor taker to my place. And he didn't even break skin. So, min pins are, He was a cocky, arrogant little shit, but he didn't like her at all. And I didn't like her either. I would have bit her if she would have reached out to try to touch me. Yeah. Yeah. I can. If you touch me, he'll bite. Yeah. But I found over the years, Chihuahuas, tenacious little shits.
They can be little assholes too.
Oh, I just love them. They're just, they've got so much big dog packed in that tiny little package, you know. They think they're all that, they strut around like I'm all that shit, you know. And Sam knows, they'll go and fuck around with that cat that's twice their size and get beat the shit out of. And what do? They run back to that cat and do it again.
Right back. Yep.
They know they're going to get their ass kicked, but they do it anyway. They're so stinking tenacious little. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
thanks for having me, Sty. It's good to see you. I got to get going, buddy.
Okay, sweetie. I am so glad you came up, spent some time with me. I miss you.
Miss you too, bud.
Think about you a lot, girl.
Yeah.
See you, Sam.
See you guys next time.
All right.
Yeah.
Much love, everyone.
Love you too, girl. Bye. Yeah, I won't be that far out. End of September, I'll be back at home. we'll get back on our regular schedules.
You'll have 2 lives and 3. 5 lives.
Yeah,
1 hour lives, die time. So
3.
Woo.
Yeah, the 3 1 hours. And woo, he says. Woo.
Yeah, I'm still over here burning from that tincture I just took again. Woo.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
The Hike with Mike's a Basset Hound guy. I think Bassets are cool. They are cool dogs. Yeah.
You just got to keep their weight down, or else their undercarriage drags the ground.
That's it. That's it. Friend of mine is Basset. That poor bugger. I asked him. I said, "Oh, so now you're making your Basset Hound wear a goddamn coat all the time, even in the summer?" He goes, "No. He says, "Go take a good look at that." And I looked at it, and it had all these straps across the top, right? And I'm looking, and I feel it under that dog. Well, it's belly drug. And on the bottom of it, it was a patch of leather stitched into it. He says, "No, that's his skid plate." I go, "Say what?" He goes, "Yeah. Keeps his belly from getting all raw, from rubbing it on the ground." He says, "I put the skid plate on him in the morning, and he's happy all day, running around, dragging his belly all over." He says, "Ever since I got him his skid plate, he can run down the driveway and back now, down the gravel driveway." He says it used to be he'd come back and his whole belly would be bright green from grass stains from running in the yard. I thought that was hilarious.
We've got a friend, their mom and dad, they've got a dachshund that they overfeed. They feed it all the table scraps and everything else. And that poor dog, its belly drags it. It can't even make it up the steps. They got to pick it up to let it go up the steps. They got to pick it up to let it go down the steps. It's like, but it's their baby, so.
Yeah. My aunt had a Basset that was, its belly pretty much so was on the floor most of the time, when it first got up and would walk, it cleared about half an inch, and then it was getting tired after about 30 steps, so his belly started dragging. And we didn't know. We had never been to their house, and we were down in their basement, and they had like a little den down there with TV. Us kids are down there watching TV. That dog's at the top of the stairs, basement stairs, whining down at us. And I'm going, come on, princess. Come on, princess.
Princess.
Yeah. That first step just about killed her.
Oh, no.
She stepped off that first step and all the way down them steps because her damn legs couldn't reach between the stairs on that big belly of hers. Boom, 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 boom. She got to the bottom, stood up, and you could see her eyes roll in her head, and she flopped over on her side and was just kind of shaking. And she finally came around, and yeah, my aunt was so pissed. Never invited us to her house ever again. Hey, Mr. Fulton, I see you retracted his message, whatever it was. The Bassets were in fit shape. They had lots of walking time. Yeah, and that's it. A lot of my friends that had Bassets, they were in good shape. I mean, they were fit.
Yep.
And
well, if you take care of yourself and go walking, you take care of your dogs too, right? Or your dogs take care of you if you take them walking.
Yeah. The new job coach tomorrow early in the morning at 10 a.m.
Nice.
10 a.m. for me.
So they gave us a new work schedule at my work.
Oh, they did?
Well, we're down on cars. So we have guys that now, we have got 3 guys that took a furlough, which is they're home collecting unemployment until things get better.
Right.
One guy went over to the used car department because we got more used cars now than we ever had.
Right.
3 guys are working 3 days a week. 1 week they work Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The next week they work Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And then the other full-timers that we got there, I'm one of the full-timers, we don't work a full 11.5-hour day, so our 11.5-hour day is broke up. One day you'll come in the morning at 8:30 and leave at 5. The next one you come in at noon and leave at 8.
Oh, really?
So we've taken our 50-hour work week down to about a 40-hour work week for us. So yeah, tomorrow I don't go in until noon. So
see, I was talking to a fella down at camp that I can't remember which town he's in up here, but he works for a Chevy dealer as a salesman, and he was saying that same issue. They just don't have the inventory. He says if it's not on the lot, they ain't got it. It's just not gonna happen, you know. And he said it's a nightmare. He said he was talking that he wants to just try to get them to let them go out on unemployment, you know, and just wait it out, because he said it's too stressful. He said they're walking in and they're walking out empty-handed because they got nothing for them. And he said the potential sales he's seeing, he says, is about a 20 to 30% increase to what he was used to. The potential sales.
Right.
But there's no inventory to sell.
Right.
He said, so, and you're sending them down the road. And he said, damn, he says, I could be making some money on commissions because the buyers are there.
But the problem is down the road, they don't have no cars either.
Right. That's it.
Most of our people that walk in realize.
Yeah, nobody's
getting inventory.
Right.
And occasionally you get one of these, foreigners that, you know, they got a cheap lease last time. They're looking for another cheap lease again. It's like, it's not there. You know what? So extend your lease to whatever it is you want to do with what you got. But, I had a guy today wanted a $250 lease on a Chevy Blazer. Doesn't qualify for much. And with his same amount of money out of pocket as he had last time, it was like $365. But he didn't have a Blazer last time. It's just like, it's not there. Sorry. I mean, this month is worse than last month. Last month, it wasn't that bad. This month, nah.
And it's not, you know, and that's the thing. It's not just GM. I mean, it's all makes. The Forest Service, my truck at work, it's a Ford F-150. Well, it's at that point when they hit about 80,000 miles, then they put them out for auction and replace them, get a new truck.
Sure.
And my truck's at 84 right now. So it should be going up on the auction block this year. Out of here. And I told them, I said, you know, that truck runs so damn good and hasn't had any service issues or nothing. That's one thing I got to say about the Forest Service. They never question if you say, hey, I want an oil change done on my truck. Well, you know, you got another 700-800 miles before you. No, I want it because I've been working the living hell out of it. And I want it now. Oh, yeah, okay. They don't question nothing. If you tell them, hey, I want it just taken in, I want a full service check bumper to bumper done on it. Okay, we'll do it. We'll take it in. They take it to the dealer and they check your rig over and make sure everything's hunky-dory. Fix it right away. Fix it before it's broke is the way they treat it. Well, I told them, I said, yeah, it's a shame my truck will be going down the road before I get back next year because I'll take that truck back if they had it, you know. But I know under their policies, it's got to go to auction this year. He said, I got good news for you. He says, the guys on top think it's bad news, but he says, for you, it'll be good news because I think you're going to get your truck back. The same truck. He says, you'll have the same truck. And I said, but it's outside their policy. You're not supposed to even put it in service after it hits. Like, it can't go over 86 and stay in service. It has to be sold. And And I said, so there's no way that I can have the truck next year because it's going to be 85.5 at least by the time the season's over with the miles I put on it on a regular basis. And he said, no, you don't get it. They're telling us fix everything on all of our trucks, make sure everything is up to par, even the high mileage vehicles, because there aren't any out there to replace them with. And even though they've got a GSA fleet contract with Ford, GM, and Chrysler, they got all three of them. They said, we can't get the vehicles. We can't, we're supposed to take it out of service, but we're supposed to replace it at that point. You're supposed to replace it. Once we got the replacement, we put that one on the auction block. But we can't get one to replace it with. Right. So you're going to get your old truck back. I said, yes, good. Just because I know the damn thing,
Right.
And if they would have got me a new GM, I would have said, take the son of a bitch, but they just can't get it.
Well, they get you a new truck, and then suddenly you're worried about any little thing you rub up against out in the brush or things like that. When you got an older one, you don't worry about it as much. But you worry about it. You don't want to scratch someone else's stuff up, but you definitely got a brand new, bright, shiny truck. You don't want to be the guy that puts the first scratch on it.
Yeah.
Hey, Charles.
Yeah. Hey, Plano Chuck. Yeah, I get it, man. I wish I could get a bumper-to-bumper servicing. Getting any kind of servicing at my age is pretty good. I mean,
I need some liposuction surgery.
Yeah, the problem is me trying to find somebody out there willing to service me anymore.
Right.
That's right. Hey, come on. I may be old. I might have a lot of mileage on me. I might be a little slack in my suspension.
His undercarriage may be dragging
a little bit. Yeah. The exhaust is getting a little louder. But hey, I'm still a good ride. Yeah. I had my motor overhauled 4 years ago. My doctor hated that. When I come out of that heart surgery and I was feeling so good, 4 or 5 days later, I'm going, God, I think I'm going to recover pretty quick. And she goes, yeah, you're one of those that's going to recover quick, I think. And she said, and that's, I told it a dozen times, I know what you think, Phil. There he goes, he's repeating shit. But when she told me, she says, hey, you're not going to be able to drink anymore and you can't smoke anymore. I said, I'm cool with that. I can handle that. That's not a problem. As long as I don't have to drink less or smoke less, I'm okay with that. I don't need to drink more. I don't need to smoke more. I'm good with where I'm at. And she goes, you just want to have another damn heart attack, don't you? I said, now, wait a minute. That motor got 60 years out of it before it needed an overhaul. Now, you told me you went in there and completely overhauled that damn thing. All new plumbing, everything. It's all totally overhauled. I said, if I can't get another 30 years, half of the first life cycle of that motor out of it, I tell you what, I definitely want a warranty on this son of a bitch. Tell me that you fixed it, but you're telling me I could have a heart attack any day? No. Wait a minute. It lasted 60 years with all of the nasty things I did. And you're telling me that I got to quit smoking now because it's going to hurt my heart? I don't think I'm going to live as long as the rebuild's going to last. I think I'll die of something else.
Yeah, rebuilt engine and rebuilt transmission never lasts as long as the original.
No.
So if you can get another 30 years out of it and live to be 90, you'll be all right.
Yeah. I'm cool with that.
Not a bad age to keel over,
Yeah.
Not that you ever want to, but
Oh hell, right now, I'd be good with making it to 85.
Yeah.
That's another 21 years. Yeah, I'm good. I'd be good with that. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you hit 85, if you know, if you're not if you're not wanting to die at 85, you'd be like, I'll be good for another 5 years. You know.
Well, that's the thing is nobody want. Well, no,
Well,
not
sometimes
nobody.
people get to a point.
Some people would rather go than stick around and put up with the shit. But as far as I'm concerned, I want to live to be 135. That's what I plan on, 135. But you know, basically all my plans throughout my whole life, somewhere along the line, got fucked up somewhere. You know, so I figured that plan, I might not make it. You know, the plan is 135, but plans change, and it might only be 130. I don't know. Yeah, who knows? But it's like Running Water told me one time, oh, you're too damn fucking stupid to know that you're dead. He says, we're going to have to someday, I know it, we're going to have to kind of smack you and say, hey, Pop, you died yesterday. It's over, man. It's yeah. What are you doing? Still talking? You're dead. You died.
Yep.
Yeah.
Time to call it a night, right?
Yeah. Stories at 135. Yeah. Sty Stories at 135. Oh boy, I'd have some Sty Stories if I made it that many years.
Yeah, he'd be repeating them like he is now. Not that he's repeating them. Oh,
Hey. My Sty Story.
He doesn't repeat his Sty stories. He just repeats those stories.
None of those are repeats. There's 208 of them buggers, you know. Them people out at camp. Oh my God, I've had a few incidents now where they come over and they go through my information center thing, and then they hang around camp BSing and end up telling them some of the Sty stories from the old list. And now I got damn people. I'm gonna have to order more stickers. Them damn people. There's campers, there's kayaks and canoes and boats running around with Sty North stickers on them. Damn people, they like my stickers. I try to give them Smokey the Bear stuff, and no, I want that Sty sticker. You know,
there's a few signs in downtown Nashville and a few doorways that have everything spicy stickers on them. I don't know how they got there, but there's a few.
I wonder. Yeah. And even if they last for 30, 60, 90 days, I mean, before they realize, oh shit, we need to remove that.
Yeah. Well, I put a couple of stickers where other stickers have been obviously for a long period of time. Mm-hmm. One of the ones by the hotel I put on the back of the sign where you could tell when I slapped it up there, other ones had been taken off. So,
yeah. The heaven won't take you, and hell's afraid you'll take over. Yeah, that's about right, Chuck. That's about right. No, and now it's starting to look like I'm thinking I'm going to keep the adventure trailer.
Yeah,
I'm going to do some modifications to it, make it a little more comfortable.
Okay, because you were talking about upgrading to a real trailer.
Yeah, you know, to a regular camper.
Right.
But now I think I can. Couple of modifications. I think I found an outfit where I can get a really awesome awning for it. One that'll roll up, and it actually goes into a heavy canvas case, and it's permanently mounted on the side of it. So it's a little spendy. It's about $800 for that awning. But I actually saw one on a guy's trailer and got to mess with it, and he showed me how it collapses and works. And I said, yeah, that bugger's sweet, man. It's tough. It's one that's going to hold up and quick to put away if you got a heavy windstorm coming in, you know. That's the thing, is a lot of those awnings shit, takes you 15 minutes just to get the thing wound back up and up against the trailer. And by then the storm came through and tore it off your trailer. Yeah, that's it, is get some biker chicks to have our logos tattooed on them.
I pay for the tattoo. If you want to have a tattoo of everything spicy put on your body, I'll pay for it. How about that? How about that?
How about that? How about that? You better set a size limit, otherwise that could be pretty expensive. Somebody says, yeah, I want that everything spicy tattoo as a back piece. Yeah, that'll cost you about $4,000. Yeah.
All right, I'm out for $4,000. No.
Yeah.
I think a couple $100 is my limit. So,
there's actually a market out there for that. You can get certain companies' logos put on you, and they will pay you. And they pay you like quarterly. They'll send you a check quarterly, and you have to send in photos of the condition of it throughout, so they know you, and you have to be willing. It's got to be where it can show, where people can see it, and they are paying you for that advertising. There'll be a walking billboard for them. We had at our tattoo parlor, we had them contacting us all the time, trying to get our clients to opt in on that shit. We did have 2 gals that did. The one gal, she was getting like $250 every 4 months. Every 4 months they'd send her a check for $250, and it was for like the next 5 years. So,
well, if she's going to tattoo conventions or places where it would be seen,
right,
and it's advertising, then yeah,
yep. And then she already had plans, because she worked with our artist, and he looked at they gave him the specs, what they wanted, and it had to be just right. And he had to prove to them with a bunch of his work that he's qualified to do it, And little did they know, him and the gal sat there and they spent weeks coming up with what's going to go over it when the end of that contract comes. So when the contract, and I should check with them, because that would have happened a couple years ago, and see what she got put over it. But she was going to cover it with something else. So
if you ain't paying me, then we'll get it covered up.
That's it. It gets covered with something I want. Yeah. Pay me. I had for dinner tonight, great value, stacked burrito something. Comes in a big ass tray, frozen,
Mm-hmm.
And you can either microwave it or you stick it in the oven. And I did mine in the oven. Some shit like that, you just don't want to microwave them. But I did it in the oven, and I can't believe I ate half of that tray. It's said there's 8 servings. Oh, bullshit. That means I ate 4 servings? Nah. I would say that tray's 4 servings, maybe. But 4 normal servings.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe Shipley. I thought, this is going to taste like plastic. It's going to be, typical, great value, mass packed garbage food, It was actually that made a good base. I put some hot salsa on it.
It's exactly what I was thinking.
I put extra cheese on it. Melted that down on it. And then I smothered it in hot salsa with a dab of sour cream on top. And oh my God, the base of it was good. It had rice, refried beans, some peppers, and burger and cheese, and it was corn tortilla layers.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty damn good. So yeah, and the damn thing was $5. Well,
What's
that's two meals for me. That's $2.50 for a meal, man.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can factor anything up, right? You mean
Yeah.
you figure when you get if I cook a burrito, I'm figuring I'm dumping a bunch of salsa, hot salsa on top. I'm adding a bunch of cheese to it, sour cream. You know,
That's it.
It's I'm not just eating this $3 burrito plain.
Right, and that's it. I've taken those frozen. What are they called? Monterey.
Chimichanga thingies.
Yeah,
I know the
yeah.
Monterey ones you're talking about, though. Yeah.
Yeah, you can microwave the damn things. I've taken those, and by the time one of those, and by the time I'm done, I got a platter like that, and it's just heaped and smothered. It's got lettuce, tomatoes, extra peppers. It's got hot salsa poured all over it, and sour cream. And believe it or not, somewhere underneath all that shit is that original burrito or chimichanga, and it actually tastes good by the time you get to it because of all the shit that you added is mixed with it when you take a chunk.
You could probably put a tube sock underneath all that shit, and
it would taste pretty good. You might choke on that tube sock. God damn, he choked on a Mexican sock. That's pretty good, man. Yeah, these are so good. I'm gonna open me a Mexican restaurant. Mexican socks. Yeah, stuffed Mexican socks.
There you go, start cramming shit. Yeah, it's all right. We got an idea going on here. Now you got to come up with
get that sock just stuffed full, and
you got to come up with an edible sock now, right? Now you got something that's like an edible, thing
like the edible underwear.
Yeah,
make an edible sock. That would be hilarious. So if you could get something that's edible, that's shaped like a sock, and stuff that,
or make it shaped like a sock, or just a tube.
Yeah. Well, you'd think they could mold a flour tortilla that way. They make the bowls and shit.
Yep.
Yeah. That's like taco salads. Okay. You go to a restaurant, order a taco salad. They bring you out that big tortilla bowl.
Right.
And it's filled with all the taco shit. And then you add all your stuff in it, and you stir it all up, and you're eating it. Well, my ex-wife, she hated it when I'd order them. They bring that thing out to me, and I go, whoa, have you got a plate that's bigger than the plate this is sitting on? Well, yeah. Can I get one, please? And they bring it out. I take that son of a bitch, I turn it upside down on the plate. Then I take my fork, and I bust the hell out of that shell. I don't want that damn bowl getting all soggy sitting on the bottom. By the time you get to the bottom of that tortilla bowl, it's just soft, soggy corn shit. I want the texture, man. So I flip them upside down on the plate and bust the bowl all up. And I had one gal in a restaurant say, if you would have asked, I think the chef would have put your salad in a big bowl for you and then broke a bunch of Doritos over the top of it or something.
Not the same.
I said, no. I like to break that shit up my way.
Part of the process.
Yeah. Hey, Raven.
That was us always back in the day when we used to get the taco salad. I haven't had a taco salad in a long time. But, yeah, you get there and you eat that, and then you break off a chunk of the taco salad, and you dip it in some sour cream or in some salsa. So it's like you have your chips along with your salad. So.
Oh, there is this little Mexican joint in Denver, Colorado. It's simple name. The Cantina. That's it.
Yeah.
And it was in the basement of this freaking building. They had a little sign out there, the Cantina. And I overheard some guy on the street. I was out there for a business meeting. And there was like 4 of us guys that after our meetings, we were looking for somewhere to have dinner, And we're out on the street, and I heard someone say, "Oh my God, that Mexican food at the cantina is to die for," and this and that. And I thought, I wonder where the hell that place is. We're walking down the street, and there's this little sign, the cantina, and there's an arrow pointing down these steps. You go into the basement. We went in there. This place was to die for. It was awesome. What they did was they had old 55 and 57 Chevrolets, and they cut the nose off of them and the trunks off of them, turned the front bench seat, took the steering wheels out, turned the front bench seats around so they're facing the back seat with the table.
Sure.
And you open the goddamn front and back doors to get in your booth. It's
Like
half a
Pulp
freaking
Fiction.
it's half a freaking car sitting there, And so we get in there, we get a booth that they've got like 8 of those, and then they got a lot of separate tables sitting out all over in this big room. And we got one of those cars, the 4 of us, and it was neat because you turn around, there's the dash, and they had cut out a portion of the dash and embedded one of those jute boxes that stand by themselves in your booth.
Sure.
But they installed it in the dash of the car, so you just reached over the seat. There it is. It was, and it's a full 57 Chevy dash. They're good looking. And there's that jukebox sticking out of it. It's pretty awesome. But we're sitting there, and here comes the waitress, and she's got the menus, and we're looking at it, and I go, "Holy fuck." And she started walking away. I go, "Oh, girl, come back." She comes back, and I said, "None of us we don't speak Espanol. Sorry." I don't know what any of this shit is. So she's explaining to me what all these different dishes are. So I can't remember what it was I ordered, but it was awesome. Comes on this huge freaking platter, all this food. It had enchiladas, there was a burrito, there was a couple of tacos. It was enough food for 4 freaking people.
Sure.
But after she takes our order, she said, "I'll be right back with your drinks and an appetizer to keep you going till your food's out." And off she went. She comes back with our drinks, and they're huge, and we're like, "Wow, this place is awesome." And their prices were
Mexican food always is.
And then she comes back with 2. I couldn't believe it when I realized what they were. 2 big ass Chevrolet hubcaps, heap full of tortilla chips, and sets them both on our table, one for each pair of us. And then she comes back with this great big long stainless steel, looked like a freaking gutter, and it's got all these salsas, like 8 different salsas in it, and sets that between those 2 big hubcaps. They're big ass hubcaps too, just heaped with chips. I'm like, holy shit, how the hell can you eat these chips and then still have your meal,
Right.
But the salsas were so good, so many different ones. Some of them just burn you right to hell and back. Others were just so much flavor, just popped. That place was so freaking awesome. And for 4 of us, we walked out. Our tab for 4 of us was $52.
What?
$52
Wow.
for 4 guys. All of us had big meals.
Wow.
I couldn't. Our meals were averaging with a drink. They were averaging about $11 a piece,
Wow.
$11, $12 a piece, and we were stuffed, freaking stuffed. And I don't know that little stretch there. I don't remember the name of the road, the street, but it's the only thing they can run on it are they got these little. They're little buses that run back and forth that shuttle people up and down this street. It's all cobblestone. And it's like a mall where no cars drive on it. That's where the cantina was. And then across the street from it, when we left the following day, what we saw when we left that restaurant is what got me in trouble. Right across the street was an Irish pub. And we went in there the next day when we got all done with business. The next day, we were supposed to catch flights 6 o'clock that evening. Got out of our business meeting at about noon. We headed right to that Irish pub. Thought we'll have a few beers before we head to the airport. My first experience with black and tans. You know, you use a heavy black beer with some light beer on it, and it separates. And I didn't, the bartender, true Irishman, he says, "You've never had one of these before, had you?" Well, that damn glass was, oh, geez, I bet you it held 24 ounces, for God's sake. And he says, once you start drinking that, you can't stop. You got to just keep drinking, because once you tip that glass, the two beers, the light beer and the dark beer, you're getting about 50-50 at the same time. And he says, but if you quit drinking, it starts to mix and it tastes like shit. Well, I drank that he wasn't kidding, man. Smooth. God, they were good. And they tasted excellent. But I found out you can't drink 4 of those and get them to let you on the fucking airplane. They wouldn't let the 4 of us on the damn plane.
No, why not?
I told them, I said, hey, we're doing you a favor. I guarantee you at least 3 of us are going to pass out before you even get off the tarmac. And the other one, he can't, there's no way he's drinking anymore, whoever that one will be. And so you're going to save on liquor. You won't have to serve us any liquor, you know? Yeah, we won't be a problem. You're not getting on.
Yeah, you're not a problem until you are a problem.
Well, and I asked them, why do you assume that we'd be a problem? And they said,
history.
Well, the level of volume of your conversations, the 4 of your conversations, told us that we shouldn't let you on the plane. I said, why? Are we talking too loud? The gal said, we heard you 2 terminals away.
Oh, no.
All the way here, and the volume just kept getting louder. But we could hear you way down past the 3rd terminal. She said, so we figure if you're in the airplane, yeah, you could be in the rear bathroom and they're going to hear you loud and clear. She said, so no. Hey, Matt J, good to see ya.
What's up, Matt?
But that was, you know, it got funny because that terminal, it emptied out for that flight. And there was nobody there, you know, because there's no other flight at that terminal. Well, we kept looking at the board, and there was a flight coming into that terminal in 2 hours. And that flight was going to depart to our destination. How convenient. We just stay right here, and we'll catch that flight. Hopefully they'll have seats for us, you know. So we checked with ticketing, and they said, yeah, you can catch that flight if the 4 of you are sober enough by the time that plane gets here. Oh, all 4 of us headed right back to that terminal. We each got us a bench, crashed and slept, and just burned it off enough that we got up and we were able to act sober enough to get on that next flight.
We were able to act sober enough. Magic word.
Yep, got to be able to do the act, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, they had already given you a hint on you needed to keep the volume at a lower level when you spoke. So,
yeah,
that's always a giveaway.
Yeah. Well, and that's it. I don't know. Booze makes you go deaf or something, you know.
No, you're just in a jolly mood, and you want to make sure everybody hears what you have to say, and it raises your volume. I don't.
Yeah. The and that's the thing too, is when we're drunk like that, we don't realize really nobody wants to hear what the fuck we got to say anyway.
That is true.
And we're just louder than shit, but everybody's like, yeah, there he goes again.
But you think
Yeah.
everyone wants to hear what you have to say, so you say it and you say it louder.
Yeah. Well, it's just like karaoke at the bar. I mean, everybody starts out at 2 or 3 and they're at 10 by last call, man. And they're up there just a bellering, man. I've been at the bar at the Indian reservation I worked at. Our bar up there got wild as hell. And they got open mic night, and oh my God. This is no shit. About midnight, our DJ up there, he's basically the MC, and he shut the mic off. He shut the mic off. And none of the drunks in that bar ever realized he shut the frickin' microphone off. Frickin' people are up there holding that mic, singing away, and everybody can hear them.
Yep.
Don't need no damn microphone anymore. But they're hugging that mic, just singing away, and he shut that son of a bitch off. He couldn't stand it; it was too loud. And yeah, I told him, I said, "You're a rotten little shit." I was there doing a night audit, so I wasn't allowed to drink. I'm just sitting around the bar, kind of keeping an eye on the employees, making sure they're not pocketing money and shit, and talking with him constantly. And he was warning me, "Oh, here comes one. You don't want to hear this shit. You might want to go to the bathroom till they're done."
Right.
Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah. And you always knew the really good singers. They were good through the whole night.
Oh, we go through the whole night.
Yeah, and then you realize they say they're drinking screwdrivers. They're drinking straight orange juice. And
I'm not a good singer until like 3/4 of the way through the night.
Well, that's it. That's it. You know,
I think I am.
And I've had nights at those pubs where they didn't put enough talent in the bottle. Yeah. Get up there, everybody's laughing at your ass, and you're going, "Geez, I didn't put enough talent in those drinks I was having."
Yeah, the funny part is I've never been drunk enough to get up and do karaoke. So,
I've only done it a couple of times.
Hey,
I did a couple of ad libs that, yeah, they were parodies that went over pretty good, but I got to be pretty drunk to do them.
Yeah, I get intimidated by getting up in front of real people, not people here, because I can't see all the people sitting at their computers right now looking at us, which is good.
Right.
I've been on cruise ships in different places where they've had karaoke and whatnot. It's like, oh God, I'd like to get up there and sing this, but
yeah, what if?
Yeah. Although I was part on a cruise ship, I was part of a Village People choreographed number where I didn't have to sing. All I had to do was wear shorts, no shirt, and a yellow construction worker hat and do choreography dance. And I had been drinking, and there were people in our party that were supposed to be recording this that didn't record it because they were too busy laughing. And it wasn't just me, it was 3 of my friends as well. So
Jeez. Hey, Mystic Money and
Dutch
Pepper.
What's up, Dutch Pepper? If that video was out there, if I could ever get a hold of that video, they had it on the ship. They had, they record that shit.
Yeah.
On the ship. If we could ever get a hold of that,
it'd be a hoot.
That'd be gold.
Yeah, that'd be a hoot. Yeah, Mystic Money. I got me a fishing boat. Watch next Sunday and Monday, I believe it is.
He got himself an anchor.
I got an anchor. I got an anchor. I got an anchor. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. When you saying you got a boat though and it leaked, the first thing I was thinking about is that spray on sealant and the tape, and thinking, well, you could probably put some of that, good. Well, hey, I got in my pool this year when we opened this thing up. I'm out there vacuuming it up and cleaning it up. I got to a point where one of the black spots down on the bottom that would be a leaf or something else or dirt wasn't coming up. Well, I went down in the water and it was a rip in the liner in the bottom.
Oh yeah.
And it was where a mole had gone underneath the pool and got there and just ripped a little. I mean, probably no more than an inch. So I went and got that. God, what is that tape? That's
Flex Seal tape.
Flex Seal tape. The white. I got it white. I got it white. So I got in that damn pool. I put that Flex Seal tape down there, and would you know, it's been holding up ever since.
Oh yeah, I see, and that's what I used on my boat. That's why I said I sealed the bow and the stern, and it's still leaking. It's because I missed spots. It's not because the Flex Seal ain't working.
Right.
Because I Flex Sealed that topper on the roof of my trailer last year. That bitch leaked like whenever it fucking stormed. I had like 6 containers catching all the leaks in that trailer every time it stormed. Well, then this spring, I had parked it this winter with the nose pointing down, so it's like everything flowed away from that topper. Well, this spring, I got up there, scrubbed all around that topper and the roof, scrubbed it all, got it good and clean and dry, and I Flex Sealed. I put the tape on, and that's tape's what, 2-3 inches wide. It's pretty wide.
3 inches, right.
And I put that tape all across the front where the leaks were coming from. Put that tape on, so it was curved from the roof up the front of the topper. Then I took a can of that Flex Seal spray and I sprayed all around the edges of that tape, around the whole thing. That trailer hasn't leaked a drop this year, and I've had some heavy downpours, not a drop. It sealed that sucker right up. So that's what, when I got the boat, I thought, yeah, there's Flex Seal for that shit. Yep. So, and I knew that if it, I'm going to get a bilge pump too, Mystic Bunny. Mine, after about an hour and a half, 2 scoops in it, that's all the water that's in it, is 2 scoops. It's about half a gallon size scoop that I use. So it's about a gallon of water every hour and a half. But no big deal. But I figure I get a bilge pump. I don't have to think about it. But I knew as soon as I saw that it was leaking, I'm going, damn it, I missed a few spots. That's the only reason it's leaking, because where that Flex Seal is, it ain't leaking.
Yeah, no. Give me a second. I'll be right back. I gotta use the head.
You do. He says he has to use the head, and he puts Samantha up there. What a terrible guy. What a terrible guy. Yeah, Mystic Bunny, I got myself a 14-foot aluminum boat for $50 with a trolling motor. I got a little electric trolling motor with it. And a buddy of mine that works with the Forest Service loaned me a 10-horse Evinrude outboard motor for it. I took it out for its maiden voyage yesterday. I think it was yesterday or the day before. And the weather's been bad, so I haven't been able to get out. But yeah, so now I got a boat motor, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And I'm looking for a trailer. But one thing I found, I've been shopping today in between getting 6 videos ready for this week. I've been shopping. And I even stopped and looked at 2 trailers. The 2 I looked at, and 7 of them I found online for sale. It don't matter how old, how ugly, or how nice they look. All the trailers I could find that can handle a 14-foot boat, every single one of them were $325 they're $375. So on the average, they're $350. That's not that bad of a price. Yeah, Matt, I paid $50 for that boat. $50. Yeah. It's got 4 seats in it. Aluminum bench sheets. I'm going to fix that shit next year, though. I'll put a flat floor in the forward section, put a pedestal seat up front. I'm going to put a swivel seat at the back. Yeah, there's things I'm going to be doing to it. But anyway, so I can't find a trailer that's anywhere but $350. You thought you would think there'd be a price range, No, they're $350. If it carries a 12 to 14 foot aluminum boat, $350. I think all these people that got trailers are in cahoots with each other. And they all said, don't list it for less than $325 and don't list it for more than $375. I think they're all in on it. I think they are. Yeah, the guy wanted $75 for it. And I walked in his shop and I said, "Yeah, I want to talk about that." He goes, "I'll tell you what," he says, "I'll tell you what, might be your lucky day." He says, "If you got $50, you own the boat." I'd say, "What?" I said, "But the sign says," he says, $50 and it's your boat. Man, I dug in my pocket. I had $54 in cash on me.
Is this a replay? Am I missing something? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm updating something.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm not being senile in this moment. Phil helps keep an eye on me to see if I'm wandering off into the past again. But no, so I give him the $50. I was happy, and the damn boat's heavy. It's 125 pounds empty, dry. So I asked him, I said, "Hey, can you come out in the yard and give me a hand just to slip it in the back of my truck?" He goes, "Not for a fucking $50, no." He says, "If you pay $75 for the boat, I'll put it in the truck for you." He says, "Otherwise, you got to put it in yourself." So I did. Son of a bitch, I ain't paying $25 to have that brute put my boat in there. Yeah, and like he said, it's now my boat. So it is my problem. But yeah, it's kind of nice to have that boat there. Now I wish the lake I was on had better fishing. I can go out there and catch small sunfish and small crappies all day long.
Sure.
In the evening, there's one spot I can sit there and every 15 minutes you're catching 20, 30 crappies, but they're all small guys, all little guys. But I want to get out there and troll for muskie, because it used to be in the state of Wisconsin you weren't allowed to troll for muskies. But they changed that law now. So now you can go out there trolling for muskies. So I want to troll for some muskies out of that lake. I did try some bass fishing from the kayak the other day. I had 5 nice strikes, but was never able to set a hook on any of them.
Bass are smart.
Yeah. And we got some big ones in that lake. That guy that's campsite next to me, they were there for 13 days in that campsite. That guy caught a total of 7 bass over 19 inches.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he knew what he was doing.
Yeah. And he come over to my campsite and told me where and what the tricks were, what he was using. And so, coming to Wisconsin in late July, might have to visit the campground. Hey, Killer Creations, you're more than welcome to stop in and say hello. E-Waste Mike, you have a good night, my friend. Thank you so much for what you did earlier. Oh, thank you, pal. Thank you, pal. I just might get a payment from YouTube this coming month, August. August.
August.
The that's like I looked over at my Teespring. I didn't realize, I had like $21 sitting there that I've earned off of my Teespring stuff.
Sure.
And what did I do? That was 2 weeks ago I saw that. What did I do? What I did every other time I looked, I go, oh, okay, when it hits 100 or so, I'll draw it down. Otherwise it just sits there.
That's my Teespring. It's been sitting at the same amount for like a month, and it's like, I just leave it sit there.
Yeah, let it build up to something, and then make it. Yeah,
well, I can also use it to purchase shit too. So if I was going to send something free out to someone or do something for someone,
right. Yeah, it gives you a little extra in there, and
Well, see, I gotta come up with a Mr. and Mrs. Spicy sticker and T-shirt now.
Oh, really?
Well, did you see the video with Connie?
Not yet.
Oh yeah, we did a bourbon ball. We did Cindy's balls.
Right.
Cindy's balls.
Right.
But I had the hot ones, and Connie had the regular bourbon balls, and we did a great video. I think it's up to about 200 views now. And,
great.
And yeah, I think it's something we should probably do on a regular basis, maybe a couple, 2, 3 a month.
Yeah.
If I can get her. She won't do anything spicy, which is fine. I don't expect her to do anything. But that means I got to get creative in finding something that she will do with me.
Right. And that's the thing is I've seen a lot of channels where the guy does goofy shit. He does videos of goofy stuff he does and things, and then the wife might be in a video, but she doesn't do the crazy crap he does. But she's there like his right hand person, and then he'll do a live stream once in a while, and the wife is there like co-anchor, and that people were saying it all the time. Yeah, take a look at your views when you're solo. Yeah, okay, but when she's with you, people they just get a kick out of seeing the other half,
And I think guys will watch longer, and girls definitely want to watch. You got your wife in there. Now it's not just you. Now I'm watching your wife, and guys are like, all right, well, they stick around a little bit longer. So yeah.
Right. I almost had this gal from Minnesota willing to do a couple of videos with me this last week, but her husband kept getting in the way.
Uh-oh.
He kept telling her, I don't think I want you all over YouTube and this and that. And, I was going to do a couple of product reviews, and she said, oh, I'd like to try a couple of those things you've got. And I said, well, heck, do video with me. You can be kind of my end person. Grab me this, grab me that, and then I'll have you use it and do this. And she even talked about, hey, if you teach me how to do this and do that, I'll let you make a video of me trying some outdoor skills and stuff. And her husband didn't like the idea of her being all over YouTube. So, husbands can get in the way when you want to use their wife, to pad your video. I don't know.
Well, my wife does give me, she does talk to me from time to time. It's like, well, how would you feel if I was on YouTube doing some of the stuff that you're doing? I'm thinking, okay. I mean, fair argument. Yeah, I probably wouldn't want you do it, but you have to also understand I am doing that. I don't know. I'm just, yeah. It's hard to look at it from her perspective, and I get it, and I'm, but I'm. It's not like I'm getting up here and I don't know. It's I agree. It's hard to look at it from that perspective and say, hey,
Yeah, and some folks are real lucky where the husband and wife, they work together so well and collab together so well, and it's like they both have the exact same interests, so it works so good that the wife doesn't have to go do her own thing,
Right.
and it works so good. Well, a good example is Mystic Money and Adventures in the
Right.
Heartland. John and Jan, they make an awesome team. They make
Exactly.
an awesome team, and they both love the same things, and yeah, they're great folks. I tell you what, I've been fortunate. I got to spend time with them twice, 2 years in a row. So, and I'm hoping that maybe they can fit in one more trip yet this year to come up and see me again. But
Yeah, we don't start selling more cars. I might take a weekend to go up to Wisconsin. I don't know. Fuck. Although for me to take that drive all the way around the lake to come up to where you're at would be further than any drive I've taken this last week.
No. You want to go up through the UP.
Well, even that, it would take me from my house, it takes me 5 hours to get to the bridge.
Yeah. And you got another 4.
Yeah.
You got another at least 4 to me, maybe 5. Yeah, so it's about a 10-hour trip from me to you. And it's not a big deal if a person's been doing it. They've done it a lot in the past.
On a regular basis, right?
And but if you're not used to taking those type of trips, that can be quite the trip. That's like when we lived out in Montana. There were several times I came back to Minnesota and then back to Montana. Well, it was 24-hour trip if all you did was stop for fuel. You didn't stop and eat in a restaurant or nothing. You ate while going down the road, and you just stopped the amount of time it takes to put fuel in the vehicle, potty breaks, that's it. 24 hours. And I made that trip probably a half a dozen times straight through each time. But I had friends, it would take them 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah. 8 hours a day, 3 days. And they were beat when they'd get there. They'd like, oh my God, 8 hours behind the wheel every day for 3 days. No, you just do it in 24, recover for 1 day. That gives you 1 extra day. That. Well,
again, I'd have to have the day of travel, at least 2 days there, and then a day of travel. So it'd have to be a 4-day thing.
Yeah. That's right.
4 days to spend 2 days. That's what's tough. That's what's tough.
Yeah, trips like that, you're pretty exhausted afterwards. Nick was pretty burned out by the time he got home. Hey, Scott.
Well, actually, Scott, we drove. We were driving 10 or 11 hours to Virginia just for a family reunion.
Yeah,
we spent 4 nights there, so of course, we got plenty of time to recover from that drive time, and then it was only 5 hours across over to Nashville.
Yeah,
and then we got 4 nights there, and then a 10-hour drive from there home.
Yeah.
So, but when you do a 10-hour drive, 10 or 11, and again, I'm not a truck driver, so for a truck driver, there's that's not that. No.
Yeah.
But
10 hours. Yeah.
For normal folk to do 10 hours, go somewhere, spend that night, then get up the next day, spend that day, the next day, and then turn around and do a 10-hour drive back. It's kind of, you don't feel like you really got a good, relaxing time. You got to visit, hang out with people that you want to do, and that's exactly what it's about. But you don't feel very relaxed. You get done, and it's like, So
that's it. That's what, for my career, I had to travel a lot. I was traveling all the time, and I got to the point where if I had to spend more than 2 hours on an airplane, it was killing me, man.
Yeah. People don't realize it's work.
And I was so weak by the time I was done traveling that it's just from the flight time. If I had to fly from Duluth to Minneapolis and then from Minneapolis to the West Coast to West Palm Beach or someplace out west. And uh, I got that couple hours of flying time across the country, and plus you've got now with all the check-in procedures and shit. Once 9/11 happened,
Right.
you better plan on an hour and a half, 2 hours in each airport. Yeah, they just tie you up, slow you down, and so when I figured out, my employer couldn't figure out why in the hell I kept booking these flights when I'd have to go to DC. I'd book a flight from Duluth, Minnesota in a puddle jumper in a little turboprop 26 passenger plane
One.
from Duluth to Detroit. And usually it'd make a couple stops on the way to Detroit. And then in Detroit, I always had it arranged. It would always worked out. I'd have about a 2-hour delay, and then I'd fly from Detroit straight to DC. Well, the reasoning in that is the Detroit airport had this awesome bar. And at that time, you couldn't smoke in an airport anywhere in this frickin' country except out in Nevada. Vegas and Reno, you could smoke in the airports there. They had these big, huge smoking sections,
Sure.
But in Detroit, that bar was the only public place where they allowed smoking. So I'd fly into Detroit, and I'd go hang out in that bar for 2 hours, smoking and drinking some of the best Bloody Marys you can get in an airport anywhere. I have never had a Bloody Mary that was that spicy and that good. And, they stick that pickle they stick in there is crisp, and the stalk of celery's fresh and crisp. Oh, best Bloody Marys in the world, man. They're in Detroit. And so I drink a couple of Bloody Marys over those 2 hours and enjoy the flight to DC. And then I'd get out of the plane in Washington, D.C. and not enjoy anything until I was back on a plane coming home again. I cannot stand Washington, D.C. I loved all the historic buildings and sites and places to go. But the city of D.C., keep it.
Yeah.
They can keep it, man.
Well, you've been there, done that, so.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, first time into Chinatown there in D.C., you got to walk through the Jewish district, and then you come into Chinatown. Well, the Jewish gangs, there's gangs in the Jewish district. You can see the big synagogue outside of I stayed in the Ramada Renaissance, and right out my damn room window, I could see the big synagogue there in the Jewish district, and just beyond it, you can see Chinatown. That's all lit up, The Chinese 4th of July every day of the week, And the problem is you had to walk through the Jewish district, and you're probably going to get robbed. And then you'll get into the into Chinatown. You got to know exactly where you're going, and you got to know which streets it's on, that you stay right on the main street, right out in the wide open, so everybody can see you. Everybody can see you, or you're going to get stabbed. They'll kill you down there.
Crazy.
But they had. I couldn't help it. At one trip into Chinatown, I went to a Cantonese barbecue, and that was the damnedest thing I ever experienced. And the food was to die for. So every time I went to DC after that for the next 15 years, I always went to the Cantonese barbecue every time I was in DC. I didn't give a shit. Come at me with a knife. Don't even try. The guys at the Cantonese barbecue kick your ass. You hurt me. I ended up making a couple of friends, couple of Asian friends there at the Cantonese barbecue that they kind of looked out for me. And they had They had security guys standing outside their restaurant right on the sidewalk, and they kind of watch. And if they knew who you were, or they recognized you as one of their customers, typical, and they got used to me. So they knew me when they'd see me coming, and if they noticed somebody was kind of tailing me, one of them would walk across the street, meet up with me. You coming to restaurant? You coming to restaurant? Yep. That's the only reason I come down here. You okay? Let's go. And then you realize, oh, those two guys, they must have been following me because all of a sudden they hit the brakes, turn around, went the other way. They're going back the way they came. What the hell? Wonder why?
Yeah.
And yeah, that tough bunch down there. Tough bunch.
Yeah, they're looking for their chance to get you. So,
and that's it. Is so you're on the streets, all of the fun stuff. You got to take a little bit of risk to go and enjoy it.
Well, you're by yourself. You can't be by yourself.
But then you end up on Capitol Hill. Okay, yeah, go up to the Capitol. You walk in that damn building, I tell you what, all of a sudden now they're all trying to eat you up. They're all after your ass too. Every one of them politicians are trying to figure out a way to screw you out of something. And yeah. So there's nothing nice about that. The best part of Washington, D.C., though, tell you what, if you are at all like me and you don't have issue with race, with people's race, whatever their race may be, stay at the Channel Inn in Washington, D.C. It's on the Potomac River. It's a beautiful, old, turn-of-the-century hotel. The rooms are awesome. The place is beautiful. And in the basement of the hotel, there's a blues club in the basement.
That's cool.
The thing is, if you're a white guy, you're probably the only one there.
Wow.
Because you're right in the heart of the upper middle class black community in Washington, D.C.
Now, what years would that be?
What?
What years would that be? Because, I mean, obviously you haven't been there in a while.
So. Well, the last time I was there would have probably been, let's see. Last time I was at Channel Inn was 2011, so 10 years ago.
It's been a while. Okay.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I don't believe anything's changed down there.
No.
That those folks, they're all money people. They all got good money, and the hotel is totally people of color. All the staff, everybody there, all the guests. I showed up there the very first time, and the kid. What's that?
I said, this guy.
Yeah.
You with your big old beard and,
Oh, I didn't have the beard at the time.
Right.
It's business, all business, But just as white as I am today,
Yeah.
But I show up there and I walk up to the front desk. I got my bags and walk up, and this young black kid. He goes, just like he was real hesitant. He goes, "Can I help you, sir?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm here to check in." And I handed him my confirmation that they sent me, Here's my confirmation for a room. He looks at it, and he looks at me, he looks at it. He goes, "Are you certain you want to stay here?" And I go, "Oh, why? Yeah, I'm not going to try to find a room off the cuff in D.C. That ain't happening. I know where I'd end up staying, probably be in Chinatown. No, I want my room, of course. Why, is there a problem?" And he goes, "Well," he says, "Can you hold on a second?" And he says, "I got to get our manager." And he goes in the back, and he comes back out, and this big black fella, big guy, he comes walking out, and he goes, "So, sir, you have reservations for a room here? How long are you going to stay?" And I said, "A week, 7 days, 6 nights, 7 days." And he goes, "Do you know anything about the Channel Inn?" I said, "No, but I love the building. I said, talk about the architecture, man. This is old. He goes, yeah, it's turn of the century. He said, but are you certain you really want to stay here? And I'm looking around like, is there something wrong with the place? And then that's when I realized, oh, there's probably about 25, 30 people meandering around the lobby in there. There are no white guys. And I go, so it's a little different that I show up, appearing the way I do? And he kind of smiled and he goes, yeah, you kind of stand out. He says, stand out like a marshmallow in a vat of chocolate. I go, oh, really? And he goes, but you do know that marshmallows and chocolate, sometimes they go together. And he says, if you really think that you want to stay here, I think we're going to give you that opportunity. I said, oh, thank God. I need a room so bad. And he told me, you may, however, want to leave the hotel to go, if you want to travel around D.C. to different restaurants and the like. But he says, what's here at the hotel? He says, you might feel a little out of place. I said, don't worry about it. I said, I work for a Native American tribe. All of a sudden, their whole demeanor changed. You work for an Indian tribe? I said, yeah. Oh, well. So they call over bellboy to carry my bags to my room. All of a sudden, they're treating me like I'm good, I went down that night down in their basement to that blues club, and you talk about a blast. There had to have been 100 people packed in there, and they got all these old black blues performers, open mic. They're getting up there on the stage. Some of them play, some of them sing. They had this gal got up there, and I tell you what, I thought, Jesus Christ, they squeezed me into the cast for The Color Purple here. And it just amazed me because all of a sudden I've got this waitress bringing me drinks, and I'm going, whoa. She had me up to 3, and I'm going, what's going on? She goes, oh, the fellow over there at the bar just bought you that drink, and a fellow over there by the stage just bought you that drink. And I said, whoa, hold them back from that point. I'm not drinking that much tonight. I got business up at Capitol Hill in the morning. I said, I can't get loaded. And this guy comes walking over, and he sits down. I'm all by myself sitting at this table that seats about 6 people. And the place is packed, but I'm all by myself. This guy comes over and he sits down next to me in a chair, and he starts talking to me, and I'm looking at this guy, and I'm thinking, this guy's got to be 180 years old. Look at this old fucker. And he asked me what I was doing there. I told him what and why. And he says, and you have no problem being here with us folks. I said, I'm loving every second of it. Right. I said, your performer, the folks performing are to die for. I said, I wish I could record them. And he goes, some of these folks have done some serious recording, and I don't remember any of the names or anything, and he said, I want to tell you something. Here, if somebody buys you a drink, you don't never refuse, accept the drink, but offer it over to you. Just say, hey, anybody want a drink? There's no way I can drink all these. Anybody want a drink? And somebody will take it from you. Somebody will have it. He says, but never refuse a drink bought for you. I said, well, then,
thanks for the advice.
Thanks for the advice. 14 freaking drinks they bought me that night. And that old guy, about an hour later, he's up on the stage singing blues. And I ended up with this couple, a guy and a gal. They moved over to my table, and they're chatting with me. And the next thing I know, my table's full. And They're just talking away. And when that old boy got up there and started singing blues, I said, "Oh my God." I said, "He's ancient, but boy, can he sing." And they said, "Oh yeah, he's got a hell of a voice." They said he was born and raised in Chicago. And that's all he ever did was work the blues clubs and started performing when he was a teenager. And he sang blues his whole life. I said, "What the hell?" It was terrible because I found that I'd be on the Capitol Hill talking with a senator or a congressman and tell them, "Hurry up. Yeah, come on. Quit peddling me bullshit. Let's hurry this meeting up." "What's your hurry?" "Blues Club opens in about an hour. I want to get back." Yeah, yeah. I had a couple of congressmen thought I was nuts. They couldn't believe that I was staying at the Channel Inn. And what did you see around the Channel Inn and all that area? There was a big fish market right there on the docks, all black owned. It was all black businesses, black owned businesses. And what did you see? Beat cops walking the beat, all of them blacks, all working that whole community there, that whole neighborhood. There's high rise apartment buildings all around by that hotel. And that couple that first moved sat at my table said they lived just right across the street from the hotel on the 10th floor. And they said it's tough living here in DC. And I said, "Yeah, I heard it's pretty expensive." They said, "Well, we've got a 1-bedroom flat in that hotel across the street, right in the heart of a black neighborhood." And they said, "We pay $1,800 a month plus the utilities, plus we have to pay $125 a month for a parking space in the garage on top of it." So
Nice.
they said it costs about $2,500 a month just for a 1-bedroom apartment. And I thought, wow, that's crazy. But they were wonderful folks, all of them. They were all great. I didn't have one person give me any fucking grief at all. Not one. Not any sly remarks or nothing. And when I checked out, the manager said, "Boy, we got you in our system now. Next time you come to DC, please come and stay with us again." So I did. For almost 15 years, every time I traveled to DC, if they had an available room, I stayed at the Channel Inn. Otherwise, I had to stay at that stinking Renaissance, Ramada Renaissance, that damn place. $4.50 for a small cup of coffee. Just a tiny little cup of coffee. $4.50. Yeah, thanks a lot. Channel Inn, no. Cup of coffee costs you $1.60, and it's an endless cup. They just keep filling it. Not at the Renaissance. One cup, $4. Yeah. Hey, Jim, good to see you celebrating 4K.
Give me a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck at 35 or 3,700. I'm kind of stuck there. Maybe this winter when I'm doing live streams again on a regular basis and getting out there, more exposure, more interaction. Yeah. And I'm meeting a lot of new people out at camp this year. And a lot of those folks are really busy this time of year. But they'll have more time over the winter to check the channel out. And I did gain quite a few subs, actually, about 50 since going out to camp. So that really helped. Yeah, Gemma's worked so hard. It's so good to hear that she's at 4K. When I saw that she hit 4K, I was, yes. Hey, I'm doing good, Gemma. I'm doing good. As good as a 64-year-old in rough shape like me can be doing, At this point, Thanks, Jim. Tag me on Facebook. Yeah. I I'm at that point where I might have another day, I might have another year, I might have another 10 or 15 or 20. Just don't know. Just don't know how things are gonna go from one day to the next. And I'm just thankful every time I got another day, and especially when I got another Wednesday and I get on here and visit with all you great folks. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Our YouTube family, and it's quite the family. You guys are quite the bunch. You made your mark on me. I think about you guys all the time out there at camp. It's always interesting meeting new people, of course, but you always miss the people you're familiar with. Well, thanks, Gemma. Yeah, I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to hear from you. The That's like with Samantha. Oh my gosh, it's been about a month or more. Her and I just haven't been able to connect, and Sam and I, a lot of times we'd have one-on-one calls and stuff, and just touch base with each other and stuff. And because I'm out at camp, I just can't do that 6 out of 7 days a week. It's so tough. Hey, Blake, great to see you, Blake. I'm doing great, Blake. Yeah, camp is going very well, very well. I'm actually very happy with how it's going. I've really gotten into the scheme of things out there. So Gemma, I have no way to chat with anybody or anything at tonight. After this, I have to hit the rack. I got to be up, shaking it out of here by 4 a.m. tomorrow. I've got 2 big boat landings that got to be mowed first thing tomorrow. And if it's raining and I can't mow, I've got 5 campground restrooms that got to be pressure washed, sealing the floor, the whole damn thing.
The ceiling?
Oh, yeah.
Those are some bad campers.
No. I do it. Once a month, I pressure wash the whole inside of that bathroom, ceiling, the walls. The walls are like your bathroom walls, the waterproof panels, but I pressure wash everything. It gets rid of all the bugs, the spider webs, and all that crap. Bees never try to make homes in there or nothing. And what I do is I spray the whole bathroom with this heavy duty soap we have. And then I go in and I pressure wash the whole inside of the bathroom. And then I wipe everything down, squeegee the floor out till it's nice and clean and dry, and restock the whole bathroom. And then people are pretty damn happy for the next 3 to 4 weeks because the bathroom smells good. There's no bugs. There's no spiders crawling up your ass or nothing like that,
That's
And I've had people say, well, isn't that a little more effort than you should put into an outhouse? And I see it as, there's 2 things that a person, I think, should be able to expect if they're paying for a campsite. That's a clean campsite ready for you to camp on, and a clean bathroom. And what I do is I set the rule for myself on how clean I keep them. Would my mother poop in there? If I have to say, I don't think Mom would go in there and use that, then it ain't clean enough. So, yeah, my bathrooms have to be clean enough that my mom would have been proud to use it, So, and I found that's that it works. I mean, people love it. They just, that's the one thing that's really standing out to them is I've never stayed in a campground where the bathroom's so damn clean, you know, and it's never short on toilet paper. Oh, you're damn right. I fill our toilet paper racks. Most of our bathrooms will hold 8 rolls on the racks, and then I put 2 spare rolls in the windowsill. I put air fresheners in 2 locations in each one. They smell good. They look good. You want to go in there and just sit for a while, and even if you don't need to poop, I might go just rest in the crapper for a while. You know?
Don't we all? We're all down on the crapper on our phone. We take twice as long to poop as we should because we're all on our phone.
Oh, Scott, it closed? The Channel Inn closed? Oh man, I'm gonna have to look into when, and why, and what happened to their hotel, because that was a beautiful, beautiful building.
Yeah, I looked it up while we were doing our thing. I didn't think it had closed, but maybe it brought something else up.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. I haven't.
Channel Inn is in Washington, D.C., right?
Right. Yeah. And it's right along the Potomac. One thing about the Channel Inn, everywhere in Washington, D.C., within the district, it's $40 by cab. You hail a cab.
Yeah.
What?
Come on. I mean, come on. All right. So I'm sorry, but this has got to be an old picture. But this is the tables in the Channel Inn on Travel Weekly.
Let's enlarge this. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll look at the napkins on the tables. Come on.
Yeah. Those are not KKK hats.
Well,
No.
I mean, at first glance, come on.
Yeah, it looks like a KKK convention.
Yeah. But that is a Channel Inn.
Yeah. As soon as you showed me that's their big dining room. Their big dining room.
This is that the outside of that place?
Yeah.
Because it looked like a military barracks from the outside.
Yeah. From the outside, it's very basic. See, that whole place, they literally retrofitted that whole place. You go on the interior, it's all hardwood, mahogany, and you can see the old red brick walls.
The rooms are lovely.
Yeah. Oh, that place was awesome. Loved it. In fact, I had to put in a special request to be able to stay there because it was about 10% over the GSA rate where the government would pay the whole hotel costs.
Mm-hmm.
And I put in a special request to stay there, and the government gave me the approval. They said, yeah, we'll pay for it. Yeah, you can stay at the Channel Inn. And I don't think the government, whoever gave me the approval, knew I wasn't black, you know.
Right.
If they would have known I was not, they probably would have said, no, I ain't giving that white guy that. No, you can't stay there. You got to go. But then the Ramada Renaissance, actually, there in D.C., up on the hill, was more expensive. But that was approved under a GSA contract. But funny
how that works, isn't it?
When I saw the outside of the building, I thought, oh, yeah, it's just a, fast build kind of typical hotel. You walk in the door and you just go, oh my God. Then you find out that all of that outside facade, all of that is all new. That's all new crap over the old original building. The old original building was a brownstone building with red brick wall on the inside. And you really see it in the basement of the place. You go down there, and it's the original red brick. And the floors, they redid the floors in the basement down in the Blues Club with Boston pavers. Now, you know what those are?
No.
That's the cobblestone you find in Boston
Okay.
on the roads. Those damn things weigh about 16 pounds a piece. And I've got one in my campsite. In fact, I got a Boston paver. I'd love to get my hands on about 500 of those and build a really nice patio area for running water at this place. They are awesome, those Boston pavers. And they say Boston paver right on the brick, right on the, and all the streets of Boston were paved with Boston pavers, and then now most of them have been covered with blacktop. Poor dumb morons. I mean, those pavers never wear out. They're solid granite. Yeah. Oh, well.
We got streets through downtown Flint that are still out of regular brick, not Boston pavers, but still regular brick. It's like kind of like historic, you know?
Yeah.
So they'll never replace them. So
yeah.
They have a big 10K run that goes down through. I used to run back. Yeah, imagine, look at me. Imagine I used to run, but yeah, they had a place down there where you took off on all that stuff, and that was cool.
I was going to ask you, were you in trouble with the law back then or something?
I used to run for fun, not for sport.
Okay. Okay. That's like when these guys come out and start wearing them damn pants where the crotch is down by their knees.
Yeah.
And my buddy's kid, he was wearing them damn pants. And he was smart enough to me about, yeah, I'm young, you're old. I can outdo you in anything. We were out skeet shooting. He found out, no, I can out skeet shoot his little ass any day. But he kept on and on. Well, that's just shooting, he says. But anything else, anything that requires any physical effort, he says, I can outdo you. Well, this kid just turned 18, right? And he's wearing them pants, and his damn crotch of them pants they're within 3-4 inches of the backs of his knees. That's how low the crotch is.
Sure. We've seen that here.
And I told him, I said, you see the end of the property over there? He goes, yeah. I said, that telephone pole right at the end? He says, yeah. I said, I'll race you out to that telephone pole and back. And I said, all you got to do is run out there, tag the telephone pole, and run back. And whoever gets back first is the winner, and the other person needs to shut the hell up. He laughed, and his dad goes, kid, you don't. No, Sty's setting you up, man. And the kid goes, no, he ain't. I kick his ass, race out there and back that old part. We took off. He don't know his own property well. About halfway out there, there's a barbed wire fence. It's not a very tall one, though, because it was just there to keep goats in. It's only maybe 2.5, 3 feet tall. I got to that, and I'm an old guy. I hurdled it without a problem.
You hurdled it, okay.
I just hurdled it. It was that low. I was able to just hurdle it. And I no more than hurdled it, got about 4 or 5 more strides, and I heard, oh, shit! And I turned around, and there's that kid hanging upside down in that fence with his crotch all tangled up in that barbed wire. I run out there, tagged the pole, ran back, met him about halfway, and I told him, I said, you sure you even want to tag the pole? Because I can walk back and beat you now. When we got back, he said, that's not fair. He says, that's not fair because I got hung up in that fence. Without that fence, I would have beat him. I said, you know what? You need to learn one freaking thing. If you're going to wear pants like that shit, don't break the law. Don't break the law because you're never going to outrun the cops in them sons of bitches. Yeah, it's so true. You think they look cool, but they're not functional, man. Try to climb a ladder in them damn things. What the hell good are they? The only thing they're good for is you can shit your pants a lot, and it takes them quite a while before anybody knows. Yeah. Hey, James, good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, guys, we hit the 3-hour mark. I think we shall be wrapping it up. Sty's got to shake it out real early. I got to get up at 4, be on the road by 5:30. That'll put me in the camp about 6:30, 6:45 or so. Now it'll be 7 o'clock, 7:30, because I got to stop at one of my campgrounds at Beaver Lake, and I got to do all my chores there on the way back, and so I don't have to make a double trip, head back up there. But yeah, I got a busy weekend this weekend. Every single campsite's reserved this weekend. So
good news.
And I've got at Beaver Lake Campground, I have 2 campsites that have Northland College, which is in Ashland, Wisconsin, the Northland College. I've got 2 groups of their students staying in each of those campsites, and we got them at what's called St. Peter's Dome, working for the Forest Service on the trails, helping us. And boy, are they getting an education. They're building stone steps, stone stairs.
Really?
Up to the dome. It's a bitch. It's steep. It's steep in there. And they got to carry the rock. There's an old quarry at the bottom of that big hill, and they got to carry that broken rock up there and build those stairs.
Good for them young folks.
So we gave them 2 free campsites and they're only 10 minutes away from St. Peter's Dome at that campground. So yeah, and I don't have to worry about them, because I guarantee you they go to bed early, because they shake them out at 6 a.m. and they're on the road for the dome at about 7:30.
Wow.
They got to be working by 8, they said. So, and they work them until 6 o'clock in the evening, from 8 to 6. Yeah. For 5 days. We got them for 5 days.
Wow.
Yeah. But they're all volunteers, and that they get some college credits for it.
Sure, I'm sure they do.
And they get a T-shirt from the Forest.
They get a T-shirt.
They get a T-shirt. I get a T-shirt as soon as they come in. Yeah, they ordered my volunteer T-shirt. Wow. Then it's overly official, right? Yeah, I'll have that son of a bitch all tore up, cut the sleeves off of it in a week, But, oh well. Hey, guys, we'll wrap it up with that. It's 11 o'clock for Phil. And hey, next Wednesday, we'll do it again. Watch my videos. Tomorrow's Thursday. Watch Fridays, and you'll see Friday and Saturday's 2 videos are road trips. That's the gravel portion of my trip, coming back here every Wednesday and going back to camp every Thursday. It's the 18 miles of gravel that I have to travel. And you'll see what, a portion, the total trip is about 40 miles. 38 miles, and 18 miles of it is gravel. That I travel every Wednesday morning and every Thursday morning. So think about that. On Wednesday morning when you're having your cup of coffee, that's what I'm doing, is having a cup of coffee, spilling it in my face, going down that gravel road, that dang old bumpy backwoods road. So until next Wednesday, and I make that trip again, you all take care of yourselves, you hear? And I want to thank every one of you for being here. Until next time, next week, watch my videos, 6 of them going up this week. So we'll see you then.
Good night.
Good night. Bye-bye.